Alright, there we go. Welcome to today's HadeNuFF show, episode 36. We got some new guests, well, kind of new guests. We got some guests that are here always and some people from the past. How's it going, Brimstone?
Doing pretty good, good. Talking about this Nintendo debacle.
Get out. How's it going, Legal Winning?
Pretty good, pretty good.
How's it going, Gabachi?
Yo, but alright.
How's it going, Levon?
It's been going well, and this iPhone 6 is a beast, man.
Uh-oh. How's it going, Wolflo?
Oh, you know how it goes, man. It's your Wolflo, you already know. Hey, tell Levon to turn down, or Bill Cosby to turn down the TV.
Yeah, Levon.
Yeah, Bill Cosby, what's it like being a rapist and being exposed?
Alright, I guess we'll get into at first the Nintendo Creators Program, like what they're doing with that. We got into it a little bit before the podcast. I see a lot of people have negative opinions about it. Some people, well, the one person had a positive opinion, really, he's now gone. He had to do something. He was busy, so I give him that. He has to do something. So, what do you think about it, Brimstone, this whole Nintendo's Creators Program? Are you for it or against it?
Against it.
And why is
Totally
that?
against it. Well, at first when you hear about it, it seems like a pretty positive thing to have a corporation like that. When you don't read the contract and you're not paying attention to what actually is the bigger picture, you think it's a good thing, right? Until you read that contract and it's like, wait a second, what's going on here? And and honestly, for them to sit there and try to penalize you or us, their consumer base, for trying to promote them, where they don't have to pay anything out of pocket, they don't have to put any of their stuff on a major network that would cost them literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. To penalize those people that are, supporting them and showing them love, I think that's kind of shitty, and they could do a lot better than what they're doing right now. So.
All right. So, what do you think about it, Legal Winning? Do you know much about it, or?
I think my personal opinion is Nintendo can do whatever they want. It is their content. I do think it's a bad move on their part. If I own Nintendo, I would not do it. But I'm just saying, from a legal standpoint, they can do what they want. They do own the content. But I think what they're doing is they're going to be playing suicide because, there's a lot of good indie games out there, and there's a lot of people playing that stuff. And indie companies, they are small, and they will beg you to do Let's Plays. Like, I get emails or messages sometimes from companies, saying, can you please play this game, and they love it when you do a Let's Play. And if Nintendo community wants to be fucking retarded and support this or bitch and whine about it, even bitching about it, I'm like, fuck you. If you want to send a message in Nintendo, do a 100% boycott of all their fucking games, and they'll change their mind, just like Microsoft did with the Xbox One.
I agree. What do you think about it, Grimpachi? Are you for it or against it?
I'm definitely against it. I'm kind of still like trying to process every little bullshit that there is to it. I just don't understand the whole, Nintendo needs people to advertise their stuff. So does everybody else. Everybody, like, it's free advertisement. So if someone's sitting there playing your game, and let's be honest, like games like Wonderful 101, Bayonetta, stuff like that, they're not selling too hot. A lot of people still, 3 years in, people still don't know what the Wii U is. So I can't advertise, like, I'm not, like, I can't play your game on my channel. You know what I'm saying? I bought the game, I can't use it. So, yeah, I think it's bullshit.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Let me turn the volume up. What do you think about it, Levon? Do you think are you for it or against it? Their creators program, Nintendo, or you?
I'm against it because you get to make less money, way less money.
Okay.
Come on now. Way less money. Plus, well, I should have the right to do whatever I want with the product anyway, because it's my product and I bought it with my own money.
Mhm.
That's what I think.
All right, I agree. What do you think, Wolflow, about the YouTube Creators Program? Are you for it or against it?
Well, the law says different, and okay, they can. Here's the thing. Here's where it gets really bad, where they cross the line. When they sign you up on a contract, and that contract they can change at any time, and they can control. They can basically force you in, or try and encourage you into only saying positive things, and that's fraud, man. Like they should not get away with that. And you know what? I don't agree with that, and this is what I'm going to do. I don't care if it's them. I don't care if it's Sony. I don't care if it's the Xbox. Whoever, if they don't abolish this shit, I'm boycotting them. I'm not putting any of their content on my channel. That's it.
Well, can I just say something? One, I wouldn't say it's the biggest Call of Duty channel, but it is an entertaining Call of Duty channel. El Presador says Call of Duty is dog shit, whatever. People still watch them. People still play the game. So even if you rag on a game, sometimes it's still good publicity.
Yep. Any publicity is good publicity. At least they're getting something out there.
I don't care. I don't like this practice. I don't like what they're doing because it's not fair. It's not fair to the gamers. It's not fair to the other companies. I don't like it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everybody. My outlook on it is Nintendo pretty much is in a bad spot in the industry when it comes to their home console, and I think they need any kind of promoting, good or bad. It don't matter what it is. I found it was very weird when I came to YouTube and I didn't see many Nintendo gameplay videos. I was always wondering why until I got into YouTube, and then when I found out it was mainly because of Nintendo. You know, I found it very strange. I could never find like a Let's Play of Zombie U unless I really searched for it or something like that. And with them on their lack of advertising as is, why wouldn't they want people promoting their product? And then they make little things like, oh well, you can promote our product if you pay us, and you have to talk good about us. You know, so that's like saying like Sony comes. If Sony came out tomorrow and did something like that, you know how much of a backlash you'd get from Nintendo fans against Sony. It's the same thing with Microsoft. They did it. Sony would attack that Microsoft for that. And anybody that damage controls this bullshit is fucking crazy. Like Boogie, the first thing I saw about it, Boogie did a video, and I still to this day, even though I'm partnered with Fullscreen, I don't understand the whole pay thing. Never will. You know, the way I look at it, I try to understand it, and it is what it is. I just did it to do it, really. I mean, I just thought, they sent me the thing after I signed up for it. They said I had 3 days to hit the accept button or they were going to cancel it. I said, fuck it. And when it really comes down to it, unless you're a big YouTuber, you ain't making shit on YouTube. And I think some of them aren't even making that much on YouTube. But what they're taking from you, Nintendo, according to Boogie's video that I saw, like he explained it with a dollar bill. If you take a dollar bill, they're getting 40% YouTube, Nintendo's getting 18%, and you're getting 42%. And the regular, like you just with your partnership with YouTube, they're getting 40 and you're getting 60. So Nintendo wants a cut. And Boogie was trying to say that's hurting like small YouTubers. That's really hurting them the most. People just starting. Like the bigger YouTubers, it's going to hurt them too, but not as much as it hurts the guy that's not making shit on YouTube to begin with. They're really benefiting off of that. Nintendo and for Nintendo, with how, like I said, how they advertise, that's horrible. Like they're digging their own grave. Nintendo, like every chance they get, they come out with something stupider that they're fucking doing with their company. That I don't agree with half the shit they do. Before this podcast, we were talking to somebody. I'm not gonna say his name or anything. I'm not, because he ain't here to speak on what he was saying. But he was pretty much saying that he kind of agrees with what they're doing, even if Sony was doing it or whatever. But that's like a benefit, like Wolflow said. If you do Sony videos or Microsoft videos or even something on the PC, you get the whole cut. Besides what you have to give stuff to your partnership. I'm saying you're not having to cut with Sony or anybody like that. You get your shit. and Nintendo's now the only company pulling that. I don't see Microsoft coming out and saying nothing. I don't see they're promoting it with their capture devices on their consoles, like how you can share gameplay and all that. They want that out there. Nintendo, they don't want that.
I wanted to say that, like, do you know how insane that is, that you can buy an Xbox One or PS4, record off that system, and talk shit about that system and that game using their own recording software, and they don't care? You can literally sit there and do that if you want, and they will not stop you.
Yeah, I don't know how anybody's for this, because that's we don't see any gameplay from Nintendo as is. Even the people that aren't partnered, I don't really see many people doing that. I see some, but not. I find it weird. And to me, as much as I watch YouTube, to me that would be whatever I see on YouTube. Really, that's advertising to me, because I watch that a lot. I watch YouTube a lot. So if I see a new game, it's usually from YouTube now, than versus me going looking at IGN's website like I used to do, or look at a magazine, because they don't have them no more. It's mainly YouTube where I get all my information. Not saying everybody in the world does, but that's a good place for advertising, in my opinion. But who knows?
Dave, I'm a little confused about the Nintendo splitting the money, because you said you're with full screen. So
yeah, I think Boogie was going by if you're just doing the YouTube monetize thing, you're with YouTube, not with the network. But I mean, you're with full screen, so full screen still takes 40% of after the YouTube cut. So it's not really. That's reasonable, because you're with a partnership. Okay, they're gonna get that, but you have to get the other ones like Sony and Microsoft. You don't have to give them shit. Nintendo now wants 18%.
Hey, I know this is way off topic, but does anybody know the midget that's in Ghetto Boys, the rap group? Know his name?
What?
Where the hell is that?
No, someone sent me a text message, and they it's one of my friends that trying to ask me this question. I don't know.
I don't know.
Really? Hey, look, thought you guys knew.
But you do have to wonder about that, right? Because Microsoft and Sony built those consoles specifically to capitalize. You gotta wonder, why wouldn't Nintendo want the same thing? Especially with how, subpar Nintendo's doing right now in sales. You would think they would want that extra money, right? They would want that.
Nintendo is slowly killing themselves. I do plan on getting the new 3DS, but they're slowly killing themselves with that. You don't get a charger with the new 3DS. You barely can upload their content. They don't get third-party games. You got the Nintendo fan base arguing amongst each other. They're slowly killing themselves.
Yeah, unless people are motivated to buy the system in order to play it and make money off of it. That's another thing.
Why would you want to make money off of it necessarily? Just to get a console, just for the whole point.
If you have a big channel, you'll want to get money off of it. Why wouldn't you?
I mean, forget getting the money off of it. I mean, I don't monetize my videos, so if I just want to upload it because I just want that in my background, shit, I put my channel at risk. That's stupid.
Well, I wonder if they're gonna pull a Microsoft. You know how at the beginning of this generation, Microsoft was yeah, we don't want you guys doing our doing videos. We want you guys to stream, yeah, sure, but we don't want you guys fully trying to grow off of us. And then out of the blue, they're like, okay, you know what? Screw what we just said. We do not care. Do whatever you want. But here's the kicker. If you're a big YouTuber, we're gonna give you a free Xbox One.
But see, Microsoft is in a position like that. They're a desperate kind of sorta. So they see that's the thing. Microsoft understands. Look, we need people on our side. We need our consumers back. We need to do whatever we can, other than suck their dick. We need to do something slightly close enough to that where we have our dignity, but we can also get our consumers back. Nintendo is like, you know what, we're gonna do what we want, and we're gonna keep doing what we want, and it's gonna keep doing it.
Nintendo's forever gonna have that bubble that nobody understands.
Yeah.
Forever.
I mean, Nintendo just digs their own grave a lot of the times. I think, like what they're doing. Like, this is like my next topic, what I'm gonna get into. I saw a video a guy made. The new channel on YouTube is actually pretty good that I ran across. New channel for me. I don't know how long he's been on YouTube, but his name's Based Video, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
And he did a video called "Who Does Nintendo Make Games For or Consoles For?" Whatever, something like that. And in his video, he explains why he thinks Nintendo should go third party, and he has a really good, reasons like why they should go third party. He says, why do we have to go out and buy, like for example, a Wii U nowadays and spend that extra money just to play first party exclusives from Nintendo when they could put them on Sony or Microsoft's where you can get great Nintendo games third party and their shit, and it saves money for Nintendo too, because it makes money for Nintendo because they got their games on all consoles instead of just one, and saves money for the consumer that has to go out and buy this one console just for these certain games. It makes sense.
Well, I mean, would you rather play borderline PCs anyway?
What would you ask for?
Well, would you play them regardless if they go third party, or would you like it just to skip them?
Yes,
you would play them.
It's coming. Okay. It's coming down to it, Levon, though, where I'm not going to buy a Nintendo console to play their games. It's not worth it spending. Okay. I spent almost $400 on the Wii U with tax. It was a waste of money. I'm not sitting here bullshit telling ghost stories. It was bullshit.
But what you realize is that you would rather have just consoles that are basically borderline PCs. I mean, mentally, they are good consoles, but they are still just PCs. That's all they are. They're just now getting the architecture.
That's what the Wii U is. The Wii U is pretty much a PC in its own way.
It's a special type of PC.
Well, I'm just saying these consoles are like, what would you consider them, Brimstone? Like mid-grade PCs or?
Well, when it comes to classifications of the actual hardware, they're low-end PCs. But what they're actually meant to do, though, this is where the big divide is right now, right? Yes, the hardware classifications.
Yo, someone's background. Oh, no way.
Yo, seriously, who is that guy? Okay.
That's Levon.
Oh, okay. So the classifications, yes, hardware-based, yes, they're mid to low-end PCs. But the software has always been what divided the lines between the two and kept them completely divided, right? You look at games like God of War 3 on the PS3, right? You would not be able to get an emulator to run that game perfectly on today's high-end specs. Why? Because the software divided that, right? Same with today. Even though it's x86, the idea of developing to the metal is the main idea still. It's still there. They still want to do that. So for them to be considered the same as the same sort of gaming platform, I would say no. No, they're not.
Okay. All right. So they're pretty much. But are they still this, like back in the day when we bought a Super Nintendo? Is it anything like that? Like I'm saying with tech wise, like does it have?
Well, I'll say this, Dave. When you buy, even though these new consoles, the PS4 and the Xbox One, and even the last generation, yeah, they do a lot more. Like you can get messages and Netflix and all this other stuff. But when you start up the game, it's really more streamlined, that OS, down to the core for running games, maybe having a few pop-ups or get a message. When you're running a PC, like, you could be running a game, you could be running, Microsoft Word, Skype, Photoshop can be running in the background.
Well, that's what
you never really get the full potential of all the power for a game out of your PC.
Yeah, but isn't that what Microsoft is doing with the Xbox One? How you can run Skype and all this shit at the same time and play games? Like it's pretty much okay, not exactly a PC, but it's damn close, and it's not like it used to be.
They're going in that direction, but they're going to go in that direction to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to open it up so you're running Photoshop, sucking in all that RAM. I mean, I'm pretty sure that those apps are somewhat small compared to the PC versions.
Well, what I'm trying to say, they're close to a PC compared to the old days, what they were nothing like a PC.
They're closer.
They're closer, but their software still, there's still that huge gap with software. So their software is really what's pushing them. Yeah.
Okay. All right. With the question I was asking though, like, do we think that it? How would I ask this question from the video I saw? Do you think it would? Do you think that it would be good for the consumer and Nintendo to go third party, like the guy explained in this video? Bear Hugger.
The base video.
And welcome.
Bear Hugger's in here?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Oh shit.
I snuck in here. Yeah, how's it going, everyone? As far as videos that base video made, kind of difficult to tell, honestly, if Nintendo should go third party. I mean, well, honestly, from my own perspective, if they ever did, like as in a what if, would I go to wherever system they go to? Fuck yeah, I would, obviously. But do I want them to go third party? No. I'm hoping that they don't. But if it does boil down to the fact that they do go third party, then I'll just go to wherever the hell they go. I'm not gonna just stop gaming.
The reason I'm bringing this up, and it's not only from base video. I saw this video. I actually saw this from some hardcore Nintendo fans doing these videos about third-party Nintendo. Like, a lot of people are getting on that topic now. I've noticed this week about Nintendo going third-party, and meaning like, would it benefit more for us to? I mean, you got to go out like the guy base video. He explained. You go out, you buy a Wii U for first-party exclusive games. Why not cut that out and just go out and buy a Microsoft or a Sony console or something that supports third-party too, and you get Nintendo games and you get their shit. You benefit all the way there. I mean, it's not. It's a waste of money to go out and buy this first-party.
Dave, in past, probably not the Wii U. Nintendo's business plan was always to make a little bit of money on the hardware. So even when people were buying the Wii and they didn't buy any software, even after they bought the Wii, like Grandma and Grandpa, they bought the Wii to play bowling. And Nintendo made a profit off of that, even though they didn't buy any other software. All they cared about was Wii Sports in the box.
Yes, Nintendo made a profit, but are they the way that their consoles are going in sales? How every generation it's less and less compared to the previous console, except the Wii. Is that good? Eventually, it looks like it's gonna be like where not many people buy a console. Like, console.
I mean, for me, like, should Nintendo go third party? They don't necessarily have to, but they need to do one of two things. They need to either get with the times and get these developers on their system, or do what they did with the Wii, which is sell so many units that you're getting so many. The Wii had a lot of third-party games, but a lot of them were exclusive, and there was so many being released. You had something to play. There was none of these droughts.
Yeah, you had to dig through the actual shovelware that was released.
Well, personally for me, like, it wasn't even that many. A lot of games I played wasn't even shovelware. Like, a lot of games, like, I heard, like, I played Mad World. Someone told me that was shovelware.
What?
Exactly.
So fuck their opinion.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, someone told me Zack and Wiki was shovelware. So no. That's what I'm saying. Like, so when it comes to Nintendo, if they could get back to doing that, that would be nice. But Nintendo doesn't have to go third party. They could just be first party, but don't make any hardware.
Well, I mean, now that to fully answer your question there, Dave, when you look at it from base video's perspective, he's looking at it from like the magic is in the games, right? And then I watched Active Gamer Life come out and do his video, and I kind of understand and see where he's coming from. That, you know, a console that Nintendo does make also plays a factor into why these games get like that. You know, I hate using that word magical, but you see where I'm coming from there. So I'm kind of 50-50 with it. I mean, like I said, if it ever was a what-if scenario, if Nintendo ever decided to go third-party, yeah, I'll obviously, you know, go to other consoles and play their games too as well. But part of me, I'm also agreeing with Active Gamer Life too as well, because there are certain games that the Wii had, or that even the Wii U right now, I mean, freaking that I actually, you know, would play better on, you know, on that said platform because the hardware is designed for it. At least that's how I look at it prospectively. So I'm kind of 50-50 with it. Part of me is like,
what game on the Wii or Wii U? Okay, go ahead.
Grimpachi, hold on, Bear Hugger. For you, like, I'm talking about people that don't have them. I'm not necessarily saying you. I'm saying myself too. I don't have the money to go out and buy all these damn consoles all the time. Why wouldn't it be better to buy a console that you can get everything you want from it instead of just one specific thing, and then I have to go buy that? That's my secondary. Now I got my primary. You know, like it's hard for me to believe that all people wants to play is first-party Nintendo exclusives all the time. They don't want to play nothing else but that all the time. I know there's people out there like that, but a majority of people don't want just that.
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's like me saying all I play is Sony exclusives, and that's it. That's all I play. That's it. You know, no.
But you also got to look at it from this perspective as well, that there are going to be Nintendo fans that only want that Nintendo experience. They don't care about anything else, or they've always had that, you know, for every generation. And people like me, of course, I always go all over the place. And for me, the reason why I'm always buying Nintendo's consoles every generation is because I always get a different library of games to play, I guess, if that makes any logical sense, like exclusive-wise, you know what I mean?
No, you're absolutely
like
right.
That on the N64. I had GoldenEye on the N64, you know what I mean? Sony didn't get that. You know, that kind of some Perfect Dark, whatever you want to call it. Like, there's always going to be, you know, two different library of games, you know, that I can always buy from two different consoles, where if I buy both Microsoft and Sony, it's just going to be strictly from an exclusive standpoint, first-party-wise. And, well, maybe some third-party deals here and there, like Street Fighter V or with Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider. But, I don't know, just when it comes to Nintendo's platforms, ever since, like, the SNES and whatever you want to call it, like, back then, it was like when you had, like, the Genesis and Super Nintendo systems, it's like there was two different distinct Castlevania games. You know, Bloodlines on Genesis, and you had Castlevania 4 on the
that
SNES.
was back then, though. That ain't
well, no, that was back then, yeah, but I'm talking about, like, when you go to the N64 generation, you know, and not even GameCube, there were games on that system that I can only get on that system that I really actually enjoy, where, like, there was more games on PS2, but there was also, you know, a lot of exclusive games that were on the GameCube that I couldn't get anywhere else, and there was more so than what Microsoft and Sony were doing as far as their first-party games go. It's a very, very touchy subject for a lot of people, and I understand as to why. People want Nintendo to go third-party, like in your case, Dave, but them going third-party, you can just have, like, everything on one system. A lot of people would dream of a console like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I honestly, I mean, I don't know. There's just something about when it comes to Nintendo, and I know most people would actually perceive it as nothing more than a fanboy thing. Nah, I don't know. It's tough to explain, man. It really is tough to explain.
Only when it comes to Nintendo fans is this an argument.
They're sensitive, man. They're a sensitive group right there, man.
Dave, may I say something real quick?
Yeah, you can go.
What I want to throw out is, what game, because I just can't think of it, especially on the Wii U. The Wii, you may get me, but I just can't think of it. What game on the Wii U or Wii can't be done somewhere else?
Zombie U?
Why can't Zombie U be played on something else?
Because having that gamepad experience, man, makes all the difference for me.
No. So Zombie U, remember, if you know the history of Zombie U, which was a 360 game, Zombie U,
yeah. I know that.
Zombie U cannot be played on another, because you got to remember the unique parts of Zombie U is the gyroscope when you snipe, or the menu systems on the screen instead of just being on your TV screen.
Yeah, that
could be done on an Xbox, PlayStation, anything else.
You can drive a car with your feet. Don't make it a good idea.
No.
What I'm saying is, what Nintendo fans allude to is that, yeah, it's not. People are caught up on this. Oh, why do I need this? It's not about need. It's about what pushes technology, what enhances your experience. Like let's take what's the game? No More Heroes on Wii, and let's look at No More Heroes on PlayStation 3. Which one is the better one?
I never played a PS3 version, so I couldn't tell you.
Okay, well, I'll tell you. The Wii version is much better.
Why is the Wii U version better?
Because it was built for that console. It was built with that control scheme in mind. And
so it don't work?
The nuances of the technology. Like, people are caught up in what's most powerful will always be better. It will work better. That's not the case. When you're building software for a specific type of hardware, it's always going to be better. That's why Mac OS runs better on a Mac than it would on a PC. It's about building your hardware or your software to cater to your hardware, and you'll never get a better optimization. Exactly, that's what I'm getting at. So I mean, you'll never get a better experience than a company who knows their hardware through and through and create software for it. Can Nintendo go third party and make really good games? Yes. But I made this. We had a debate the other night on Zen's channel about what you gotta look at this from an artist perspective. If you're an artist, wouldn't you rather have the decision on what canvas you could paint on and what tools you can use to make your painting with? Yes. You don't have to shape yourself into a box and say, well, man, I want to make this vision, but I can cater to what they're doing over here. It's never going to be as good when you have to limit yourself in that way. And when they were talking about Nintendo going third party and whatnot, the game. Look at did Sega benefit from going third party?
But
No.
I mean,
And
Sega.
of course, Sega is not Nintendo.
Yeah, and Sega makes
Right.
mistakes. Like what I'm saying
But
is
Sega also had awesome, excellent first-party games.
Well,
what I'm saying is this: like when it comes to Nintendo, do I need a Wii to enjoy Super Mario Galaxy? No, because I can use my computer and I can use the controller, and it works exactly the same. So what I'm saying is Nintendo doesn't need to make hardware per se because it can be done on other hardware.
And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. You guys are caught up on the need.
No, it's not a need thing. Like what I'm saying is this: like I watch you guys
Why do I need
podcast.
the gamepad? You don't need
No,
the gamepad.
it's not that because you don't need a game system. If we talking about real needs, you don't need a television either. But what I'm saying is this: when it comes to the whole thing, like I was listening to you guys last night. I mean, I don't know if it was the other night or something. It was about like
It was last
quality,
Friday, right?
quality or quantity. I agree that Nintendo definitely does make the best they have the best first party games. Definitely. I can agree with that, but that's also an opinion. What is not an opinion, what is something that's factual, is quantity, not quality. Because someone could sit here and tell you that they thought Watch Dogs was I thought Watch Dogs was a great game, and I had no problems with Watch Dogs. But a lot of people did. A lot of people could sit here and tell you that Fallout was a great game, but a lot of people have problems with that game. So the quality of those games to me, to you, is opinionated. The quantity, which is how many is on a platform, you cannot argue. I can't sit here and say, well, these 500 games suck, so these 500 games don't count. No, I can still, if someone asks me, yo, what console or what device has a lot of games or more games, the Wii U will never pop up in the conversation. Which someone else can then decipher for themselves which system has quality. You know what I'm saying? The Wii U as a device is okay. Nintendo needs to, do something with the gamepad, and that would be nice when they do that. But what I'm saying is, does it excuse? And I saw your video too, and I enjoyed your video today about the Revolution Evolution. But does that necessarily excuse anything? And I'm not saying you were making excuses, but I'm just saying like a lot of people were after your video. They were saying, well, because this is an evolution, not a revolution. That's why this is okay. What Nintendo's going through right now. I don't think it is okay.
No. My point was that the Evolution consoles don't sell as well as the Revolutionary consoles. As far as being the Evolution, the Revolution, like, okay, NES was a Revolution, right? NES was a Revolution, and it sold 66 million, right? And then Super Nintendo, which was the Evolutionary console, sold 48 million. Okay, and then that was the Evolutionary. And then you go to, okay, we have to separate them now. That was the Evolution to Revolution, all right? Now we're moving to the next Revolution. N64 sold 33 million, I think.
Is that's worse than Super Nintendo, right?
It was worse, and then you go to that system's Evolution, and it sold less. So I think that was the point.
It sold less than the 64 too.
It sold less than 64. Yeah, it was 20.
So it just been a constant decline, other than the Wii.
But see, that's is that fair? Oh, other than this massive.
Well, I'm not excusing the Wii. I'm not saying you know.
A lot of people do though. I'm saying that.
I'm not saying the Wii's a fluke, but I'm saying until the Wii hit, it just been on a decline. So what I'm saying is, not you, because like I said, I just took your video as you noticed something and you wanted to make a video. That's how I took it. But a lot of people took that as, oh, this is why Nintendo's going through a hard time, because this is the Evolution console, not the Revolution console.
Oh, no,
see, that's what I'm saying. No. And I'm not saying you were doing it, but a lot of people take things that way. So I'm like, I just don't get the Wii remote and nunchuck, I say Skyward Sword is what really showed you, like, you know, the waggle here or there was cool, like No More Heroes. If I remember correctly, because it's been a while since I played that, most of the time you just press, I think, A, and then you hit it when you were supposed to, like make a line or whatever. That game was fun, and it was great, and I liked it. A lot of the games were great, but when they really just utilized it to its best of ability, I think it's with Skyward Sword. Are we going to see more of that? No, because they moved on to this gamepad that they're not using. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't make sense. Like, I would rather play the new Zelda like Skyward Sword was played. But it's probably not going to be played that way. It's going to be played with the gamepad and gyroscope.
I think from what I see, it's going to be because if you look, Link is using his right hand as a sword, and Link is traditionally a left-handed swordsman. And I think there's going to be an option to use. That's just a theory. There's going to be an option to use the Wii remote the way Skyward Sword did it. That's just a theory.
Yeah, I get you. I would definitely hope that, but like I said, like a lot of games, like Star Fox, as far as I understand, is being played with the gamepad, right? And I don't know if there's an option for Wii remote nunchuck controls. But when I played Sin and Punishment, which is, I mean, basically a light gun type shooter on my Wii, that was very enjoyable. I just don't get, like, Nintendo still has a lot of potential with that remote nunchuck. And
I'm with you.
Oh yeah, they do.
It's become definitely a secondary device for the Wii U, and the Wii U's main device is not being utilized. It's very strange.
Yeah, I mean, I said it. Active Gamer said it, that they should have bundled the Wii with the or Wii U with the remote.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because they know everybody has it at that point. They know everybody who has a Wii U will have that remote, you know, and then that way they can cater to it. You know? I don't argue with that at all. But like I said, the Wii U is basically an evolution of the Wii, being that you have the motion controls, but then you have like the touchscreen interface. It's a evolution. It's not a revolutionary thing. We've had, you know, what do you call it? Smart devices that had touch controls for a long time. So it's just an evolutionary thing.
I think that's one of the reasons why Nintendo went with the whole entire touchpad screens, because they wanted to try to lure in a couple of those people that, you know, are familiar with iPhones and iPads and touchscreen mobile devices.
Yeah, it just
and it backfired. It backfired on them. So now they're just going to ride it out.
I don't know if it backfired. I just don't think it was that. It wasn't revolutionary.
No.
And that's why I didn't get people excited.
But I will say, though, Grimpachi, there is one game that is coming out, and it's a game that I know a lot of people in here don't give a fuck about. That I feel that if the gamepad wasn't present, then this mode would not be in the game, and that's the new Mario Party game. Bowser mode, for example, you know, you have like the 4 Wiimote and Nunchuck players sitting on the couch playing, you know, doing their own thing. Whereas the person who's being Bowser can actually, everything's done on the gamepad perspective. He can see himself. And to me, that's something that's new, that's utilizing the gamepad. But another game, too, as well, that actually is using the gamepad pretty goddamn well. And we saw, you know, what they were doing with this as far as the tech demo goes at E3. And it's supposed to be coming out this year, too, as well, was that Project Giant Robots. Yeah. This is another game, too, as well, that utilizes both the TV screen and pad pretty damn well.
There's a game coming out next month that uses Kirby, or this month. And, you know, see, the thing is about what Nintendo does is that quote-unquote hardcore gamers don't really care for quote-unquote revolutionary stuff. They would rather just play the way they've been playing for, you know, 20-some-odd years or more.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
So a lot of these guys just don't care about that stuff. Like, you know, Kirby. Kirby was a the Kirby Canvas Curse on DS was a revolutionary game. It showed you why basically that touchscreen was so awesome on DS. And we're at the point where Kirby and the Rainbow Curse is not going to be able to do that because we've had all these different games that utilize touch controls and whatnot. So it's not going to be a revolutionary thing. For me, I'm going to love it because I loved Kirby Canvas Curse on DS, and this is a, you know, this is a sequel to that. But, you know, not like, again, the hardcore, quote-unquote hardcore gamer doesn't really care for these new ways to play and all this stuff. So it's just not gonna. I said at the end of my video that a lot of this stuff, the revolutionary stuff or whatnot, the new ways to play games, is not gonna matter to them as much.
Can I ask you guys something?
No.
I made a video on this, and I touched on a very few points that I thought were very important, and it was very quick. I didn't want to make a long video, but there's so many other factors to consider. One of them is, do you think that they will have the same kind of creative freedom if they are going third party, or will they be tied to certain other stipulations and I don't know.
Yeah,
it depends. It depends on the company because look at Rockstar. I don't think they're tied. If they're tied to anything, it's very limited. Like Rockstar pretty much does what they want to do. And like I said, like if Nintendo doesn't have to go third party, but they can go first party, just not on their hardware.
Let me quickly break it down from our perspective, what that means. Like for me, if I make YouTube videos, it's not my career, but I make YouTube videos. If somebody came to me tomorrow and said, "Hey, you want to make YouTube videos? That's fine, but you're gonna have to use this software. I like Final Cut. They tell me I'm gonna have to use Premiere. Now, can I do that? Of course, but I know Final Cut like the back of my hand. So what I'm able to produce on Final Cut is gonna be better, and it's gonna be what I want it to do. It's gonna be my vision. Whereas I have to bend basically to make stuff on Adobe Premiere to get the same results or similar results.
That's a great point.
Can I say something?
Hold on. Let's get back on topic. Where the hell we went with it? I'll let you guys
What are y'all talking about?
I'm gonna go back to making my steak come out.
I'm lost myself.
Dave, can I say something real quick?
Go ahead. You might as well.
All right. And I would like to get Mr. T's opinion because I know he's a Nintendo fan, and I'm not trolling right now. Would it be cool for Nintendo's console to be on par power-wise or very close with Microsoft and Sony? I do know that Nintendo likes to make a profit off of their consoles, but let's say they want to make maybe a bare minimum $10 on the Wii 2 and not really revolutionize their next console as much because they do have the motion control. They already have the tablet. The motion control and the tablet, the price of those two controls should be very, very cheap. So they could have a console which is on par with the next generation that will be coming from Microsoft and Sony and still have motion controls and the tablet from the Wii. And I was like, what would you think about having a console on par? Because I think that tablet on the Wii U should be pretty cheap to manufacture in the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. Look, I have no problem with them being on par. They've been on par before. GameCube was on par and better in some respects with PS2. So this isn't anything new. People like to say, well, Nintendo was always least powerful. That's not the case. In 64, while it didn't have the storage capacity, it was a more powerful machine than PlayStation 1. So they've been on par and better in some cases. It would be nothing new. My issue is focusing on the power going to affect what they want to do outside of the console itself. Like, there's talks about the fusion and it's all rumor and conjecture based on things that Nintendo has said. But will it affect what they want to do with that? And the thing about Nintendo's consoles now is that they are proprietary. People tried to crack the architecture in the Wii U, and they couldn't do it. They gave up on it. So what Nintendo will be able to pull out the Wii U is most likely going to be better than what anybody else is going to be able to pull out of it. So to that respect, I think they should have some kind of development group that focuses on helping out third-party companies understand the architecture at least close to as good as they do. And I don't think they've ever been really that good at that. And that goes even back to the GameCube.
Yeah.
There were developers complaining about not having dev kits and technology. So that's the stuff that they need to get better at. And I think they'll, I think, third parties will be able to pull more stuff out of the Wii U, or whatever console they're working on.
Yeah, Nintendo's going to be more vocal towards third parties in order to get
Yeah, they definitely got to do that. I will never say that.
Developers to understand it. Yeah.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Jesus.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Burger, man.
No, you scared the shit.
Yeah, I've been listening, man. I just did my little video, man. I won't say it's damage control. I'm speaking out the truth. So y'all stay tuned to that little video. But when y'all was talking, Miss T was talking about, yes, the GameCube was on par. That generation, I believe it was a dogfight between Xbox and GameCube for whoever had the best graphics, whatever. But it's Nintendo basically being different. It was different with the N64 without having CD. They stuck with the cartridges. That kind of hurt them with the third-party situation. They had a lot of third-party games, but they had a lot of third-party exclusives. But a lot of the multiplex, they didn't have it. On to the GameCube, they stuck with those. They fucked, and instead of going to the regular CDs, they got those itty-bitty discs. Online infrastructure is way different from Xbox Live and the PSN, on from the GameCube onto the Wii, still the same. They stuck with the same graphical powers as the fucking GameCube, maybe just a little bit more powerful. And of course, they blew up with the motion controls and all that shit. Yes, most of those sales was basically to casual gamers like older folks and people. Yes, like a lot of folks, gamers like me. I played a little bit and I threw in my closet for a while, and I played my Xbox for a while. On to the Wii U. Online infrastructure is not the same as the competitors. The graphics is not the same. It's everybody keeps saying it's last gen. They got great graphics, but it's not up to par with the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. These days everybody loves graphics. People want graphics overall. I'm just being honest. It don't bother me that the Wii U is it's less powerful than this generation, but it's I love their games. That's why I bought it. But if Nintendo keeps doing what they're doing, they want to be different. They don't want to be different, but by them being different since the N64, it's not working. With the Wii, they got lucky. But if they continuously and do this onto the next generation, it's gonna suck, man. I'm just being honest. It's gonna suck because gamers like me.
Get out of here and let y'all do your thing. I gotta finish cooking here. All right, so let's back to the GameCube. You say that the problem was the size of the disc, right?
Yes.
That's what held third parties back.
No. Don't get me wrong. They had some third-party games. No, don't get me wrong. They had third-party games.
You're saying that the disc was the disc size was a problem.
Well, yeah. I remember. Like the PS2 and the Xbox.
How many discs was Final Fantasy VII?
How many discs was Final Fantasy VII?
Exactly.
Yes, I know.
Wasn't it 3 discs? It was 3 discs.
Right.
It would be even more if
But what about DVD players?
DVDs.
Like everybody.
Hold on now.
Go ahead.
The discs medium was cheap.
Yes.
And even going to PCs, they had multiple discs for certain games.
What about DVD players? Everybody wanted DVD players.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's a different argument there.
He's trying to answer your question.
I'm trying to answer this question, right?
Okay.
And I did it in a video. It's called GameCube Proves Anti-Nintendo Bias. And this is my theory, my opinion. I'm not saying it's fact. So what I'm saying is they gave third parties this powerful system. They gave them a disc medium with smaller discs, but you know what about those smaller discs? They were nearly impossible to pirate and benefit the third-party companies. And they still ignored it. So, and they had the powerful console, they had the dual analog controller, all that stuff.
Now let's talk about the present.
And they still.
I would like to say something, so everybody needs to be quiet because I'm talking right now. I remember seeing a documentary that was made by G4, and they had somebody who worked at Sega who was part of the American team of the Dreamcast. And he said he actually felt the reason why the Dreamcast did not succeed was that it did not have a DVD player. Even though Mr. T, I agree with you, that the GameCube did not need a DVD player to play good games. Okay, but what I'm saying is the consumers wanted a DVD player. And
that's two different arguments. We're talking about third parties supporting the system.
What I'm saying is, it is also
sales. Yeah, that would help sales.
What I'm saying is, it is one of the reasons why the GameCube did not sell as well. I'm not talking about the
I agree with that. I've already said that myself.
Yeah. So I feel that the Wii U should play Blu-rays. It should play DVDs. It should say that on the box. So it is.
But that will add to the cost.
Well, I want to say this, right?
I'll be right back.
Has to stop paying those royalties a little bit. They don't want you because they're cheap.
When it comes to like most proprietary things, Mr. T, like as far as I understand, most proprietary things are normally expensive or they cost a lot of money compared to other things that just for everybody. So those GameCube discs probably would help with pirating, but how much was it costing them to get those discs to put the game like? Because you had to go through Nintendo to get the cartridges. You had to go through Nintendo probably to get the GameCube disc sold. You didn't have to. I'm just making sure. Just trying to ask questions.
Yeah, I mean, you could find those discs in stores. Those were pretty, they weren't as big as CD like that. But you could find mini discs. That's all they are.
But what I'm saying is, like, there wasn't any, you didn't have to go through them to get the disc?
Yeah, Nintendo didn't own that. No. Nintendo,
okay, I'm just
had a patent, I think, on mini discs, but Sony has a patent on DVDs, so it's no
okay,
different.
I was just making sure. Yeah. Now, when it comes to that, the GameCube era and why a lot of games didn't come now, a lot of people don't want to admit this, especially Sony fans. Sony did step in a lot of times and get like, I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan, and I'm like, why is Budokai 1 and 2 on the GameCube but 3 didn't come? What I was told when I was young, Budokai 3 couldn't run on there. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It can run on there, but they stepped in and said, we want this exclusive.
Right.
So, but at the same time, there were times where Rockstar came up to Nintendo and said, hey, we want Grand Theft Auto to be on your console. And they're no.
I remember that.
So, Nintendo sometimes shoots themselves in their own foot.
No doubt about it.
A lot of times.
About this whole YouTube partnership thing. Like, I think Dave was alluding to me agreeing. There was no positive spin on it. I was just saying, as far as I'm concerned, I understand where a company would want to protect their product. I understand that. I said that I don't understand why Nintendo would want to deal with the bad PR. It's just stupid. That's the stupid part of it. But I understand, and there's ways to control your content without having to do what their proponent. I don't know all the details, but from what you guys are saying, what they're proposing to do, you can still protect your content without doing what they're trying to do, and that's why I disagree with what they're doing.
Mr. T, before you go, because I don't know if you have to go yet, I just want to ask you this. Do you think it's strange? Because I personally do. Like, we know that the 3DS can play Game Boy Advance games digitally because of the Ambassador program, but Game Boy Advance games, Super Mario World is on the Wii U twice because the Game Boy Advance release and it's the normal Super Nintendo release, and it's really on there 3 times if you want to go to the Wii library. I don't get. And I'm just asking you if you can give me a theory. Why? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if GameCube, downloadable GameCube games come out on the 3DS but never come out on the Wii U. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's in a little retarded.
Okay, I'll answer that now, Bounce. I totally agree with you on that because one reason is that Nintendo basically bragged about how quickly they were able to port Wind Waker HD, even a full-on remake of a GameCube game. How they did it in 6 months, and if they can do that in 6 months for Wii U, why don't we have GameCube games on Wii U yet?
Now, let me say one
question.
These are head-scratching things that Nintendo does that
I do
would
have
never
a theory towards that.
I totally agree
I'll
with you
keep that for another day.
Like
first
Game
of
Boy
all,
Advance games on the Wii U, which doesn't make sense to me. Where you should be putting DS games on the Wii U, because that makes more sense because of the touchscreen capabilities. That would make people understand. That would make people feel a little bit better. That aren't all in on the Wii U gamepad. Right there, boom. Here's your touchscreen in your hand. Your TV is your top screen. It's a quick, easy fix to say this is why you quote unquote need the gamepad. But they rather give us Game Boy Advance games than DS games. So
let me ask you one thing though, T. Now I'm not for going third party. I like Nintendo what they're doing to a certain degree. I want them to stick to their vision to some degree. Here's the thing. What if they were to test though, would this not be a good thing if they were to test the waters, put one game on as third party on the other consoles and see how it does, and who knows, maybe they could actually get out to a lot more consumers, and that would be a good thing, would it not?
Yes and no. I mean, it'd be a good test. Obviously, that would be a good test to see if that they could make more money, or it would be more viable for them to do that. I would be afraid because if the test works out for them, then
me too.
I see another console.
And that's
I'd
competition
be
too.
afraid though, like for Nintendo to go third party, where you would get like games.
Here,
Like, what if it went to Microsoft? Would that be really bad?
let me say one thing.
Here's the thing, like, I don't understand, like, I'm a gamer, so even when Nintendo had tons of third-party NES, I didn't have one, but my cousin had a Sega Master System. When Super Nintendo came out, you could be satisfied with Super Nintendo with nothing else, but I still went out and got a Sega Genesis.
But you had
N64.
third-party games on Super Nintendo. Like they were actually
even though
a lot
I
of
had all
support.
that stuff, as a gamer, I still wanted to play different games.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think why people, because I noticed this topic is going around right now, this whole third party with Nintendo. I've seen a lot of videos this week on that.
Yeah.
And I think it's all happening because the Wii U is very, very bad in support. Like, it don't have nothing really, like when it comes to other games besides Nintendo games.
Okay.
And a lot of these other companies don't go through that because they have third party. And I think a lot of people don't seem to realize third party is like mainly a big part of the industry, bigger than any of them. Like without third party, very much there. You know, I'm just being honest. Like in my opinion, I don't know. Third party's a big deal now than what it used to be back in the day.
Well, yeah, they run the industry now.
Yeah, they run the damn industry. I mean, I think that's why people are getting that Wii, like Nintendo, without third party. They're seeing what that is like, and it's not good with the Wii U. I mean, yes, they have great games, but how far can a great game get you? You know, one great game, two great, it don't go very far when you're not seeing like Shadow of Mordor, Dying Light, all these other games aren't even coming to Wii U. You know,
But then
like that's what we're getting at.
We're getting back into subjective again.
But how's it?
Yeah, I think
You
I'm
might,
gonna like
you might
that.
think that those are great games. A lot of people don't.
I don't
But
see
Xbox
what
people,
So Nintendo games on the Wii U. So the majority of fans are going to be happy with Mario. Just certain games all the time.
well, I mean, a lot of them are because obviously you've seen, and this isn't just because the games, like you've seen third-party games on Wii U. There was a time when there were third-party games on Wii U, and they just didn't sell as well. So, and this is without like a major Nintendo game out there. I mean, you had New Super Mario Brothers at launch, but you also had like Darksiders and all these pretty big third-party multiplats that just didn't sell as well. And yet you can say, well, there was frame rate issues because they were only using one damn
First
core.
party's not selling well either on the Wii U.
What's that?
First
The
party's
install
not
base is too
selling that
small
well
for a
on the
lot
Wii
of third parties.
What first party isn't selling well?
Donkey Kong's one of them. That's at almost $1 million now.
Wonderful 101 is
My
another
theory
one.
on Donkey Kong is that it's a side-scrolling platformer, and gamers today don't see that as a big AAA game. And there are a lot of people that would say, "Well, I don't even, that game should be $30." So
Didn't sell well.
again, Pikmin didn't sell that great on GameCube. It's a nuanced type of game. Like if you're not into, it's basically a strategy. It's basically a strategy hybrid game. And there's not a huge audience for that to begin
Wonderful 101 didn't do too hot.
Yeah,
Wonderful 101
did pretty bad. Yeah.
Wonderful 101's problem was, and this is just for my thinking on it, is that it came out too damn late. It was initially supposed to be a launch game, and by the time when it came out, Wii U sales were in the toilet. When it came out, it was like September or something, 2013.
Plus a lot of reviews,
and the reviews
cracked
didn't
down on
help
that
it.
game pretty damn harshly too as well, which also affected a lot of people from buying that game
It's
too.
a hard, nuanced type of game. It's a
Lego
hybrid.
City Undercover, that didn't sell well. Like, what I'm getting at with this too, if that was on all consoles, it might have sold a lot more. You know what I'm saying?
Like Rayman Legends?
Rayman Legends did sell good on everything pretty much.
I got one of the best receptions.
With Rayman Legends, I think maybe sold more on the Wii U, but if Rayman Legends only sold on the Wii U, it would have sold a lot less than what it sold on everything combined. That's what he's saying.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
Like what I would like for Nintendo to do, like I said, I would just really like for them, like the multi-plats, I want them to have some of them. I really want them to have them all. But really what I would rather have, if Nintendo can get third party, like, you know, the typical games like Madden and whatever, at least give me that Wii library of third party. But that's only going to happen if their system is flying off the shelves with third party. It's like, we got to do, and I guess that's up to Nintendo to make sure their next system flies off the shelf. But if they can't do that, do I want them to go third party? Not necessarily. They could just make games on the PC, or they could just make, I don't know, handheld games. I don't know. But, and another thing I want to throw out is, I don't know why Nintendo fans believe that Nintendo goes third party, they're gonna do the bad DLC practices, make broken games. That's not gonna do that. That doesn't even make sense. Like, Nintendo, the company, just doesn't change their morals because they're third party all of a sudden. They're like, oh, let's do shitty games now.
I think a lot of third parties will actually fear Nintendo going third party.
That might help the industry, because if Nintendo is quality, and they're putting that pressure on you, especially if they're selling too, that's gonna be a problem.
Okay, so
a lot of gamers would be raising questions about that. It's like, why is EA charging me for this when Nintendo's doing that?
With that theory, why wouldn't those same third parties be afraid to have a console that has all their games on it with Nintendo games?
No. I understand when third parties say, because you know what, Nintendo, I don't know if Nintendo did it, their fans did it, because a lot of Nintendo fans that say they've been gaming since the Atari, all of a sudden when you talk to them online or whatever, they're like, ever since the Super Nintendo, after the Super Nintendo, Nintendo didn't have any third party games. It was the real limited. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. And they forget real quick. So I think sometimes they mentally just block stuff out. And I don't know if that's something Nintendo put in their fans' head, or that's just something the fans start morphing into their brains. You know what I'm saying? Because they just don't want to believe that the GameCube, 64, Wii had third-party games, and they were good.
Yep.
And the Wii U basically got none for the most part. And I've been getting used to the obscure Wii games and the obscure GameCube games and all that. So when the Wii U don't give it to me, it's a disappointment. Lawrence, I think you listen to Beyonce in the background, and it's a little bit too loud.
But outside of EA and Ubisoft, at least for the GameCube, there wasn't a whole lot as far as third party goes. And the reason you had a little bit more on the N64 was, well, there were more third parties around. And a lot of those guys are gone now. And so you don't have, the thing is about Nintendo consoles is that third parties have said themselves that they can't compete with Nintendo games on Nintendo consoles. So the thing about them, that this is on Nintendo's onus. They have to make the install base for their console so big that you can't ignore it. And that's what happened with Wii. If Wii didn't sell the way it did, you wouldn't have had all those, third-party exclusive games, third-party, some multiplats like Call of Duty and all that. You wouldn't have it. So they have to make sure this console sells so well that you can't ignore the install base.
Mr. T, you asked me you asked everybody a question. You said, well, why isn't third party scared of Nintendo with a home console? Well, I can give you that answer. They're not.
No, they said it. There's guys that said it, though.
Yeah. Cliffy B said a long time ago that that a lot of third parties are out there are just, they don't want to release games for the Wii U because they're terrified of Nintendo's first-party games.
Right, and if you look at the sales on Xbox One, PS4, and back all the way back to their first consoles, the games that sell more on those consoles are the third-party multiplats.
Yep.
But the third party's not scared of Nintendo with their home consoles. I think they would be scared of them on the same.
I'm just going by what they said. I mean, this is.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as what the Wii U is, the biggest problem is the install base. I think that's the number one reason why a lot of third parties are ignoring it, because the install base is
that's the deal.
9.2.
Yves Guillemot said it. I don't agree with anything.
Well, I mean, we don't agree with a lot of things that third parties say, but when you look at the bigger picture of it, though, too, as well, I mean, 9.2 million is pretty fucking bad for fucking 3 years.
Well,
so I think a lot of third party, or 2 years, well, whatever. I mean, it's going on its third year now, and then by the time this year's done, knows? Could the Wii U easily make it to 15 freaking million at the end of this year? If the price drops down, maybe it's a possibility, but more than likely, probably not. However, though, I think that's one of the main reasons why a lot of third parties are ignoring it, because there's not a big enough install base, especially when third-party games don't sell as high as what Nintendo games do on Nintendo platforms.
And I mean, the price is a deterrent.
Yeah, yeah.
And the thing about the Wii is that it was so cheap. You can buy. Remember, there was a guy put up a video about how you could buy a 360 at the time and a Wii for the price of a PlayStation 3.
Yep.
You know, and people did that. People actually did do that.
Yeah, they did actually. Yeah, they did.
So the fact that the Wii U is still, pretty expensive, is a deterrent to, because Nintendo. I think Nintendo has said that they're going for, to be the also console. Yeah, go out and buy your Xbox, or go out and buy your PlayStation. But we got different stuff over here, so buy us too. And because of the price, the buy us two isn't working as much.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Not every gamer is going to go out there and see that $300 value.
I got to bounce fools.
All right. Nice talking.
Thanks for having me on, man. Do your thing.
Later, man.
Yeah, so third party.
Right, hold on. We're going to get on topic now. We've been all topic for a fucking Wait a second. All right, we're going to go back. If Bear Hugger wants to answer something, he wanted to talk about the whole Nintendo partnership thing.
I just wanted to throw in real quick that
we're going to stay on topic, guys.
Yeah, I was just gonna say real quick that I'm definitely can see all the complaints that people have, because after I made that video, I went back and I read between the lines and looked at everything and whatever the case may be. And even though I don't monetize my stuff, but say if I did, I wouldn't agree to any of that crap. Period. However, though, since it is in beta, I'm hoping by the time May comes around when they officially launch this thing, they'll iron out all the problems that people are having issues with. Because I read through PewDiePie's blog that he wrote about the whole entire aspect, even though a lot of journalist websites are blowing his freaking blog out of proportion, saying that and he's pissed off and freaking out over it. He's not freaking out over it, though, because he didn't say anything bad in this thing except for slap to the face kind of deal, and I definitely understand it from his prerogative. However, it is in beta. Who knows? Things can change. They might definitely lower down the cost. You might see the issues and like, okay, we'll adjust that. We'll have to give it a chance. But if it doesn't change by the time it launches, yeah, Nintendo, I definitely agree with what you guys were saying earlier, that, yeah, Nintendo's going to be shooting themselves in the fucking foot big time by doing that.
Yeah, they're already in a bad spot when it comes to YouTube content and what people think of it. Like, there's a lot of big YouTubers that actually came out and said, I want to put Nintendo stuff on my channel, like Boogie, and he says he don't do it because all their fucking crazy rules.
Yeah, Angry Joe's the same way, and I mean, PewDiePie is the only person that does put him up on his channel. He just doesn't monetize it. He doesn't give a shit, whatever you want to call it. It's like a small, tiny debt into his freaking money that he makes every goddamn year.
You don't care.
Yeah, I mean, with 35 million subscribers, yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't give a shit. But people like Boogie and people like Angry Joe, they're like maybe like 1 or 2 or 3 million people subscribers, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that would definitely be a huge hit on them. So, I can't say I don't blame them, because Nintendo, I've even said a while back that I wish Nintendo would hurry up and get this problem fixed, because they need more publicity for their fucking games.
Yeah, YouTube is, like, believe it or not, it's a good place.
It's a main stable now, man. It's a main stable now. A lot of people don't even go to journalist sites anymore to look at their reviews. They go to people who they like on YouTube now to do, certain reviews. So
how do you think all these crappy ass games got so popular?
Yeah.
PewDiePie, man.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So did everybody see the base video, or did I just want a quick answer why you disagree or agree. Would you want to see Nintendo go third party? Mainly because if it makes the console, it's cheaper for the consumer not to have to buy a Wii U, and they could get it on other, consoles. And it's better, Nintendo would make more money because they have their games on more consoles. Or do you disagree? And just give a quick answer, and we'll move on to the next person. We're getting on the next topic, and I'm leaving Nintendo. I'm going away. We're going on to a whole different thing after this.
I already gave my 2 cents. I already gave my 2 cents right as soon as I came in here. So
you gave your 2 cents?
Yep.
Did you give your 2 cents?
I don't give a shit.
Okay, you don't give it. Grimpachi, did you give your 2 cents?
If they were third party, like I said, I would rather them just be first party on people. That's it.
Okay. Real Gamer 27.
Yo.
You gave your 2 cents?
No, I ain't gave my 2 cents. It's like this: if this goes on again to next generation, the install base is pretty much low and everything, and third party's gone. Then it's pretty much they got to go third party. That's just my opinion.
Okay, I can respect that. And Wolflow, did you give your opinion?
Well, according to my calculations, it would actually help them. At the same time, I don't want to see it. Not me personally.
Okay. All right, my opinion on it. All right, I know a lot of people don't want to see Nintendo do this, and I wouldn't either, you know, to extent. I mean, I'm not that attached to playing a game anymore on a certain console. Like, if Sony was to lose some of their growth and they were on somewhere, that's typical sometimes. A lot of these games we've seen, like we're so used to seeing, like back in the day, I was used to seeing Street Fighter on a Nintendo console. I don't see that anymore. Okay. In all reality, it ain't gonna kill me if
Hey,
You gotta
dude,
turn your video down. Turn your video down.
Yeah, Real Gamer, we can hear your shit, dude, in the background, man.
Dave can
in
get
all reality,
for that shit.
in all reality, it would not hurt me to see that happen because of the way how Nintendo is treating how less and less support has came to their console. They're making it like less appealing to buy a Nintendo console. Like, I think when you buy a console, especially what they're asking for with that price, you're spending almost what is it now, $300 for a Wii U? Like,
Yep.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm spending $300 for a Wii U to get mainly first-party Nintendo games, which I can go for $50 more, get an Xbox One, and have third-party and Microsoft games. You know, they're offering two, and they're offering streaming and all this other shit, Skype, everything else that I can do with this console.
Or for $200, you can get a 3DS.
Well, I'm just
Or a used Wii U on the website.
you can get a handheld that offers more than the fucking Wii U offers when it comes to games. I'm just saying. I'm just being honest. And it's sad, and it ain't just the Wii U that's been like this. It's been every generation it's getting less and less what you get with a Nintendo console. But the first party's always kind of been there. But now it's like, it's just this generation without third party and how they're going on about, you know, putting out games. It's pathetic. Like, if they come out next generation doing the same thing, it's not going to be good. They got to get some kind of third party on board, outside of their few third party exclusives. So I don't think it would be a bad thing. I wouldn't lose any attachment to a Nintendo console. You know, there's a lot of things going on nowadays that I don't like and don't agree with, but you have to deal with them. I think it would benefit Nintendo and it would benefit, you know, the consumer. I agree with that, and that's all I got. Next thing I want to talk about is this whole Sega thing. This is with their downsizing and their company, and it has brought up the question. A lot of people think that you know, Microsoft might buy Sega, Nintendo might buy Sega. What do you think about this, Bear Hugger? Did you hear any of this news?
I looked into it a little bit this morning, and I saw that they were cutting off a lot of people's jobs for it or whatnot. They're resizing their companies and whatnot. And I think I remember them stating that they're going to focus more on digital for mobile. I think it was. If I'm not mistaken. At this point,
Mobile and PC.
Well, thank you, mobile and PC. Yeah. So they're planning on doing that. Well, it fucking sucks that you're going to be doing that, but at the same time, I mean, I guess their games just don't really fucking do all too well, as, like, via console-wise. I mean, like, they have released a few games on mobile, I believe, already, but I don't know if they actually said anything about it, if they were successful or not. I have no idea, but it's a real shame to see, you know, Sega getting to that point now where it's like they're pretty much basically, like, we're at that breaking point right now. It's a real shame, to be honest, you know, from a company that, you know, at the time we all grew up with, so... I don't know. It sucks. That's all I'm gonna say. It's pretty sad, man, to see Sega in the position they are right now.
Well, it's you know, they even come out and said, I heard some statements that, you know, and this was going to be another topic too, but I'll add this into it too. They're calling Sonic a cancer to gaming. You know, they are, like, and I was going to ask if Sonic, you know, what people think, if Sonic is even appealing to anybody anymore. Like, would you consider him a cancer to gaming? You know,
Sonic? Who's next?
Yeah, I've seen that statement a lot lately.
Sonic.
Dave, can I say something real quick? I think Sonic.
We'll let Bear Hugger talk, and then we're gonna go to you.
Oh no! I was just gonna say. I mean, Sonic really can't really do. He's not versatile, so everything that he's done so far. I mean, look at Sonic Boom. That game fucking flopped. So it seems like everything, like Sonic is pretty much basically only good for like his own like old school fast running kind of games.
Both games flopped. Sonic Lost
World, Rise of Lyrics and Shattered Crystal, I think it was called. Both games definitely did not sell too well, and it seems like everything that they try to do new with Sonic just does not work out for them. And as far as them going back old school, I mean, they've already tried that with Sonic 4, and look how well that did. Didn't do nothing for them.
Let me quickly just say something.
No, your turn's right now, Legal Winning. What do you think about Sega downsizing and the whole Sonic ordeal? Do you think?
I think Sega is a shitty company overall. I do know their football manager sells pretty well on the PC. I will agree partially with Bear Hugger. I think that I believe that Sonic is great when it comes to 2D, 3D. It's a hit or miss. To do a good 3D, you need a great team to pull something off, like on the Dreamcast versions. However,
there you go. Yes,
the 2D games which they try to do with Episode 1 and 2 they're okay. They're not amazing. However, I do want to say this: there is a remastered for the PC that's made by fans.
I heard about that. Yeah,
I played it. It is so fucking beautiful. It's better than anything that Sega has put out. It can be done. I mean, they can do Sonic right, but they don't have the right people working on it. Like, I played that game. And it's beautiful. It's better than Episode 1 or 2, whatever that Sonic is.
Look into that.
And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, these guys should be working for Sega. No, Sega's too stupid.
Sonic Fan Remix.
What do you think about the whole Sega downsizing? Like, do you think that they're going to end up going, like, where Microsoft's going to pick them up, or Nintendo, or you think they're going
to have to downsize, or somebody's going to have to buy them so they get those IPs, because they do have a lot of good IPs in which, you can take and do other things with. But then again, I can't remember who it was. It was some developer. I can't remember. Why would you want to buy somebody else's IP when you get to buy a license, do all this other shit? He goes, you might as well just create your own IP. And I'm not trying to bring race into this, but I'm gonna have to a certain degree. And I know I'm going off a little off topic, but the reason why you see Marvel and DC taking white characters, turning them to black, or straight characters going to becoming gay or whatever, that's because Marvel and DC have screwed over so many writers and creators that they won't create any new characters, so they have to keep on rehashing them. I mean, there's a lot of good black characters who are new IPs, but you're going to have to buy indie comics like Spawn and shit like that. And Todd McFarlane got sued by Marvel because they said the eyes and swinging with the chains with Spawn was similar to Spider-Man. I mean, there's a lot of shit, when you go into, IP problems and stuff like that. It's a big friggin' mess. And, I know I went off a little off topic with this shit, but, IPs, at the end of the day, they're not worth it in the long run to invest all this money buying those IPs if you're not going to do anything good with them. I mean, if you're going to buy Sonic, you better have the right team with it. And if you're not going to recreate it well, then you're screwed. You have to know what to do with these IPs. And that's why Marvel and DC, they're taking all these characters, they're converting them to different races or whatever, which I'm not saying I care about, but Marvel and DC are in the same category. I know a lot of people love Marvel and DC, but I would rather see Marvel and DC say, okay, hey, you work for Marvel and DC, we'll give you 10% off of every comic book which you create a new character for. So you want to create a new black superhero, whatever, or whatever, you get 10% off of this new comic book every time it's sold, or a movie deal. So if you create the next Spawn, which is a black superhero, you get 10%. That's the deal that Stan Lee has, and they used to have that deal at Marvel at a certain degree, where writers and comic book artists would get a kickback on the sales, which they took that away. And at a certain time in the 90s, they did have a lot of good storylines, but they screwed it up during the death of Superman when they got a little too greedy with the hologram covers. But they should do that now, is that if you create a new IP, the team for the rest of their life should get a kickback in small percentages of sales. So if you create the next Call of Duty, or you create the next Mario, you should get a kickback. Marvel used to have that deal. Todd McFarlane used to get those deals, but they took them away. Greed, one way or other, will destroy you. I mean, even though you own the IP, you should still give back, because when you give back, people want to do a better job. And I know I'm going off topic just a little bit more, but there's a supermarket company by the name of Market Basket, and the owner of that company gives $40 million back to his employees. It is a non-union company, and when they fired the CEO, 25,000 people walked off the job, and they were non-union. And when people love the company they work for, they will do the best job that they can.
Oh, okay. What do you think about this whole thing, Real Gamer 27, with the downsizing of downsizing of Sega and Sonic as a cancer possibly to gaming?
Oh man, it's a sad day because my first console when I was 4 years old was the Sega Genesis, and of course the Sonic the Hedgehog was my very first game that I played. And I basically had the attachable with the Sega Master. It was backwards compatible, if y'all knew about that. So I had the Sega Master games, the Wonder Boys, the Rocky, I had all that stuff. Then had the Sega CD, Sega Saturn, Dreamcast. I had a whole bunch of Sega games growing up. I've always been a huge Sonic fan. Crazy Taxi, Vector Man, Streets of Rage. It's just sad to see that Sega it's about to. I'm not saying they about to go. They about to leave from the console market and go to the PC and the mobile market. Which they might succeed in the mobile market, but PCs, a lot of people are just gonna pirate those games anyway on a PC anyway. But as far as his consoles, I've always been a console gamer. I'm not really much of a mobile guy, and it sucks, and it's sad that we're not gonna get those. I'm a huge fan of Virtual Tennis. It's a fun game. I love that game, and we're not gonna get it, especially on the consoles, and it's sad. Yeah, I love Virtual Tennis. I love House of the Dead. The Dreamcast had a lot of good games, man. It sucks that they about to freaking go even more under than what they're already in right now. So that's just my little two cents on it. I hate for it to go. The Sega Genesis, like I said, Sega Genesis was my very first console when I was a child. It sucks, man.
Okay. What do you think about it, Wolfload, Sega downsizing, and possibly Microsoft? A lot of people are thinking Microsoft might buy them, or Nintendo, and the whole thing with Sonic as a cancer possibly to gaming.
Yeah, they're open for a buyout. Again, I don't know if Microsoft will buy them. As far as buying them for all those, with all their properties and how much it would cost, I agree with that. It's not really worth it. People need to come up with their own IPs. Unfortunately, it's a sad day for gaming when this happens, and when it happens to a lot of developers. Like, NIS America is thinking of going bankrupt and publish all these JRPGs, like very, very creative games. But Sega, you know what, gamers, I'm just disappointed in the gaming community as a whole, and I feel like we don't deserve Sega because we didn't look at games like Valkyria Chronicles that came out this gen, and how much did that sell? It's crazy.
The real reason why Sega wants to go mobile is because the company that makes, let's say, a candy game, that puzzle game that's on mobile, Candy Crush.
No, this is stupid, man. They're not gonna be able to compete in that market.
They're not, but they're looking at it and they want to be them. That company that makes that Candy Crush game, that company's worth $2 billion. And Flappy Birds was making $50,000 a day just on those stupid pop-up ads.
Yeah, either way, gamers need to fucking start supporting different companies. Stop pre-ordering Call of Duty and all the DLC every year. I'm sorry. And the same games reskinned all the time. I'm getting sick of the same fucking games. I really am.
Well, that could fall under Nintendo games. Like Lee and you.
Nah.
No, David, no, don't do it. We're off.
Yeah,
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Illegal winning, we're talking the other day, and what did we talk about with Mario Kart? Mario Kart is pretty much like a fresh coat of paint with some new mechanics, the new one. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, yeah.
What it is.
I mean, everything is basically like that.
I mean, everything's like that.
That's what I'm sick of.
But it's all the same. Like, all this shit. Like,
I'm getting tired of it.
It's not new. Like, what's funny is, like, my brother's son, he was playing Clash of Clans, I believe. It's on the phone. He has a ball with that, and it's a free game. Like, he loves making his little town, and, you know, when they're offering shit like that on cell phones, I don't think Sega's going to come out with, you know, like Sonic or whatever. They're going to want to buy that when they can play something like that for free and compete.
They'll make a game that has microtransactions or a game that has pop-up ads.
Well, all right. To touch on Sega and who will buy them and stuff, well, to throw this out there, the best Sonic game out recently is on the phone already. Like, that could be where they're wanting to go to that market. There's a Sonic game right now you can play on your phone. It's basically a Temple Run clone, but it's done very well and it looks very good. It actually looks to par with a Sonic game nowadays, and it plays very well, like I said. So that game, a lot of people play on their phone, you know, and I think that game has, I don't know if it has microtransactions. I don't remember ever buying any, but I know it has ads. But once again, like when it comes to Sega, are they the cancer of gaming? They're more like the herpes of gaming because they kind of like just pop up when you don't want them. Like the shitty game just pops out of nowhere, and you were doing so good, you didn't, you know, it didn't pop. You know, your herpes didn't come up on your lip for a long time. There's, you know, bam. You know, you on a date, bam. Oh shit, I'm having a herpes problem. But when it comes to Sonic, look, this is just a theory of mine. Sonic 06 was shit for the most part, but was it shit because it was just shit, or was it shit because they also had to make a game for the Wii, which was Sonic and the Secret Rings? They made two shitty games at the same time. Then they made Sonic and what's that game called? The one with the sword. I noticed there's only one Sonic game on the Nintendo platform, and that's Colors, that everybody says is like really good.
Sonic Colors?
Yeah, a lot of people say Sonic Colors is good. So
it is. It is.
So when it comes to like people say look at Sega, you know, look at where they're going. Look at who influenced, because remember Sonic Heroes and Sonic, all those games, well, I don't know how they sold, but they were fundamentally fine. They weren't glitchy, buggy, fucked up. They were fine back in the 6th generation. I noticed that Sonic went on a decline ever since they've been heavily fucking with Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Almost all the Sonic games on the Nintendo exclusive Nintendo platform are shit. The only ones that aren't are like Sonic Rush and Sonic Rush 2, which were 3DS games, and they were more like old school Sonic games. But then they made Sonic Chronicles, which is a turn-based Sonic RPG for the 3DS. Garbage. They made two of them.
I heard Colors for the Wii. The Wii was good. Sonic Colors for the Wii. I didn't play it, so I'm just going on what I heard.
To hear about the Sega news was really depressing to me.
Yeah.
Very depressing.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Sonic really, I mean, not Sonic, but Sega in general, just as a company, isn't anything like they used to be.
Didn't they just buy somebody, though, last year?
Yeah, they bought Atlas.
And Atlas does pretty good, so they bought Atlas. You know what Nintendo's hoping for? I bet you. They bought Atlas Sega. They're hoping Sega goes down even further. They just buy them out. Then they have a twofer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sonic is already heavily tied with Nintendo at this point. He's at their Olympic Games. He's brawling with them. Hey, look, you know, it'd be a smart business move if they get him. But Microsoft could step in because I think they have a lot more money. So.
All right. What do you? So we pretty much tackled that subject. Other than that, what do you? I want to ask this because I invested in Grand Theft Auto again. Are these heists going to be what they're building up them to be, like the hype around these heists? What I'm asking is, it going to be a letdown when they come out? Do you think it's going to be what they built this shit up to be now, or is it going to be a letdown?
I know that was one of the things that I was really looking forward to when I bought GTA 5 on my PS3 there last year, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that are super hyped for it, and I can understand as to why, but I think it's just going to be another cooperative kind of gameplay mode. But depending on how they do it and how they approach it, it looks pretty good from what I see from the actual reveal of it, but I don't know. It does. You do bring up a good point, though.
Yeah, I want to know if it's going to be, like, is it going to live up to his, in their own way? You know, they haven't, like, they have been hyping it up, but it's like building a big expectation, because there's some people that just literally say this is a myth now that this is coming. You know, like, it's
well, I think the reason why they delayed it is because obviously, you know, with the PS4 and the Xbox One version being made too as well, I think they were just holding it off so that way all four can get it all at once. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think that was the reason why they took that approach. But I mean, who knows? I mean, it really depends on. Like, I mean, like, you know, again, as I said, you know, when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, okay, you know what? If I still had my PS3, I would gladly, you know, get back on playing that game for sure, and enjoying it. But I don't know. I think some people will be disappointed with it, but I mean, it is Rockstar. They do make some pretty damn good updates and / you know, expansions per se. Because they don't really do DLC. They mostly do expansions. But for this here, it's going to be a paid thing or a free update. I'm pretty sure it's a free
update.
Okay, yeah. So if it's going to be a free update, then yeah, I'm sure people will be like, some people will be like, well, this is it. Other people will be like, oh, okay, this is fine. I can accept this. So we'll just have to wait. I think it's going to be a mixed bag, but I think it's going to be more positive than there will be negative for it. I think, in my opinion.
Okay, what do you think, Legal Winning? Do you think that it's going to be all this hype they're building around Heist because it's taking forever? Do you think it's going to be a big upset, or do you think people are going to be happy with it when it finally comes out?
You know about the first person mode for GTA?
No, this is the Heist they've been talking about for over a year now. I've seen videos on this shit, like people speculating when the heists are coming, what's gonna be them, blah 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 blah. Like people, like if they add something on GTA, like a casino or something or whatever, they're like, oh, this is for Heist, and they go in the vaults. Like I've seen crazy shit, like with so high, their expectations so high for these heists, and I'm just thinking it's going to be a letdown. You know, I do.
Well, I guess if I don't know about it, it must not be important.
You don't know about the heist?
I'll make a joke right there. I heard. I haven't been following that type of news that much. All right, I didn't mean to be rude. That was like
I'm blown away. You don't know about that, because that's been pretty big topic for a long time on and off now. But okay, what about you, Grimpachi? What do you think? Do you think Heist is going to be a letdown, or are people going to be satisfied when they finally do come, if they ever do? Or
I think at this point, no one. I mean, I can't say no one, but I definitely don't care anymore. GTA 5 as a whole was a letdown for me. So at this point, it's just like I'm probably going to get it on PC. I already had it on last gen. Probably going to get it on PC, and they keep delaying it. And it's like, well, if it never comes out, oh well. If it comes out, oh well. I mean, at this point, it's like I don't care anymore. Like when it comes to the heist thing, what are the heists going to do? The heist is going to probably be just like how they were in single player, except for you do them in multiplayer. And you keep waiting and waiting and waiting. People build up hype, and it's never going to live up to the hype that someone in their brain doesn't imagine. It's never going to live up to that. So for me, I just personally think all it's going to be is a mission where you go kill a bunch of people, you plan out your heist, you steal money, and then that's it. Like it's going to be like the campaign. It's not going to be anything special about it.
Well, that's what I'm hoping it's like the campaign, and we get to do it with our friends. I think it'd be fun. I don't see that.
Get me out, man.
What do you think about the heist, Billy Crystal? Are you looking forward to heist? Do you think the expectations would be too high?
Saw you in that park, and
Oh, let me see. I think something's up with his volume.
That dude's on crack.
Oh, he's on crack. I let him into his ass and come in the podcast. What about you, Real Gamer 27? Do you think that the heist hype around them, like, because it's been taking so long, that it's not going to be what everybody thinks it's going to be, or?
Well, actually, I really hadn't kept up too much about that news. I know you said it's kind of a big deal, but I really don't know much about it, to be honest, Dave. So I'm just really listening on.
If you're into GTA, like, this is something that Rockstar has been promising us since GTA 5 came out. Like, and they keep going on. Every once in a while, they'll throw out a trailer for it, and then you don't see it. They're like, oh, Now, the last promise they made, it's going to come out with the first update for the new system, like the PS4, the Xbox One, and it still is not here. Then people are speculating they're waiting for PC to come out, and now it's going to be maybe I'll wait till fucking March. And I've seen a lot of videos about like people predicting the heist and all that stuff. But if you don't like GTA or if you don't follow it, then you might not know. So I understand that.
No, I haven't bought the game yet.
Oh, okay. You have okay. Maybe when you start if you ever start playing it or whatever, you understand what people are.
What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Bill Nye.
Somebody that was begging me to come in the podcast, and now they're gone. Okay. Not you, video game lover. Are you looking forward to the heist, or
I haven't paid attention about the heist thing.
Okay. Well, Flo, I know you play GTA.
Yeah, I actually love GTA. I just don't understand why Rockstar's been getting such a free pass when it comes to like charging for paint jobs, bullets, and everything else. And now they're like holding off on this heist thing and getting all these delays. People need to start questioning what the fuck's going on here. And I look at. I can't get excited for it. I just can't.
Yeah. Well, people may not want to hear this, but I mean, I'm surprised a lot of people don't know about this because GTA is a bigger game than fucking Mario nowadays. I mean, it is. It outsold Mario. GTA 5. That's how big it is. And that Mario, when it comes out, Mario's like one of the biggest selling games. I mean, there's a lot. All I ever see on PlayStation streams is fucking GTA. People playing GTA Online, just roaming around. Like, they love that. The minute that game comes out for next gen, that's really all I ever see on the stream.
I just hope in the next one they don't start charging us for fuel like EA is thinking of doing.
No, Rockstar is not going to do stupid shit like that, man. No, I'm waiting for the next installment of Red Dead Redemption. That's what I'm waiting for, man.
Me too.
Yeah, a big fan of Red Dead there, Gripachi?
Nah.
Ah, damn it.
No, my expectations are pretty high for Heist because I've been waiting for it since they fucking announced it. So, I mean,
they showed it during the first trailer they ever released for frickin' GTA Online.
Yeah, that was like the big thing. You could be Heist. I mean, that was
supposed to be like the big co-op moment there that they were supposed to be having for that game.
Well, I guess what they said, this was one thing they said, the reason they haven't released it too is they were working on so they could get it interesting for everybody that has, like, if you're the dude in the car waiting, you have something to do. If the person's in a fucking air duct, they have something to do. If you know what I'm saying, like, whatever you're doing. Yeah, they want to make it like, because if you really think about it, okay, they're going to have 5 heists. So how would they make this interesting for you to play more than one time, one heist? They're gonna
exactly,
parts and that's what it is. So I don't know. I think they're building the expectations up really high, and people are gonna be let down because people are let down with everything with gaming. Like,
they are.
In reality, they are. But all right, that was just a topic. I was trying to get away from the whole Nintendo thing. I had to throw something else out there. What about this whole, like, PlayStation 4 Slim? Like, are people wanting to get that, or no? Bear Hugger, did you see the images of the PlayStation?
Yeah, I saw the images, even though it turned out to be fake. The guy actually made the images, came out, he said he was trying to do it for publicity stunts, but, or for his portfolio, it wasn't real. Yeah, the guy made it for his portfolio thing, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, if it turned out to be true, that's way too fucking soon. Way too fucking soon, man.
Yeah.
The PS4 looks slim enough as it is already. It looks fine.
Yeah. I got the chance to actually mess. That's what I was gonna say for the next topic, but I'll mention a little bit of it here. I got an actual chance to actually use an Xbox One. My brother has one, and I am. I'll save it for the next topic, but. Compared to the PlayStation, that thing is a fucking. It's like when people say a VCR player, it's a fucking VCR.
Basically, the Xbox One was the size of my computer tower, pretty much. Because I have one of those like lay down tower ones.
Slow down.
That thing is.
It's huge.
What do you think, legal winning of the whole PlayStation 4 Slim thing? Like, do you want a Slim? I'll change it to that. Would you want to see a Slim of that model, or no? Or
I would say yes. Smaller is always better. I mean, if it takes up less room, but I'm not going to wait a year. If I didn't have a PlayStation 4, I mean, I'm not going to wait a year for a Slim to come out. But if a Slim is coming out like a month, I would probably wait for the new model.
Okay. What do you think, Grimpachi? Would you wait on a Slim or buy a PS4 now?
I don't have a reason to buy a PS4 now, so waiting on the Slim, getting it now really wouldn't matter. But I think it's too soon for a Slim, and you know I know you guys kind of touched on it a little bit, but I've seen the Xbox. I don't know why people think that thing is big. I think the original PS3 is bigger than that, ain't it? It looks bigger than that.
No.
No.
It does. I mean, at least it does to me.
It doesn't have an external power bar either.
No. I'm not talking about an external bar. I'm just talking about the system.
The Xbox One, when I get going on about that, and I'm saving that for the end of the podcast. I was highly disappointed in that console. I can't believe it. Like,
no, I'm not saying, you know, yeah, let's say that for later. I don't want to talk about it, but I've seen the Xbox One in person. It doesn't look as big as the original fat PS3.
Xbox?
I have to get them. I gotta get them next to each other to determine that, but it doesn't look that way.
Well, I'll do that for a video because I can do that.
And you know why? You know why I think the original PS3 looks fatter? Because it got that layer thing, and then it's like an oval shape. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of looks bigger.
Like
it's probably
inside
not
jokes of a Foreman grill.
Yeah, it looks like a George Foreman grill. Exactly. It really does. That's how the joke really does.
Yeah,
It is about the same size.
That does look like a George Foreman grill. What do you think about it, Real Gamer? Did I ask you about that, Real Gamer?
No, you hadn't asked me about that. I haven't bought a PS4 yet. I'm going to get one as soon as I get my refund, whatever. But I don't even give a crap, to be honest. I bought PS4 the way it is, to be honest. I know the slim version might be a lot, slicker, whatever. It looks probably better, but I just don't give a fuck, man.
Well,
I just want to.
when they
What's up?
They release a console. Like, what pissed me off? PlayStation released the PS4, and then they come out with this version of it, the 20th year anniversary. Like, even though you couldn't get your hands on one barely, it's still like, why did they, why are they doing it?
Well, it's kind of like on how we bought the Wii U the first year, thinking we were going to get all this third-party support, because they announced that E3 2011 and all that. We thought we was going to get some, then all of a sudden, boom, slapped us in the face, and we was like, man, fuck this shit. And with the PS4, whoever bought it the first year, also the second year, things changed. You see what I'm saying? they could have waited maybe the second or maybe the third year to bring out the Slim, but hey, man, it's business, man. That's what they do. They could be crooked, sometimes it's whatever. But it don't surprise me, man. It wouldn't surprise me if Microsoft come out with a small Xbox One. I'm just being honest.
You don't have to buy the slim one. You can buy the old one if you want.
What do you think, video game lover, about the if there is ever a Slim to come? Would you rather have that than the PS4 that they got now that pretty much is slim to begin with?
Maybe or maybe not. I mean, I do like the first, the PS1 Slim. I like that one a lot, but it depends.
Is he there or is he trolling?
He's there.
No, he's being honest today. I know you two don't get along. That's why I was worried about having him in the podcast.
That don't matter to me. I don't care, man. I banned him from my channel a long time ago, so I don't even know exactly. He might comment on my channel, but I don't see it. But I'm not even worried about it, dude. He could. I don't have a problem with it. He could talk right now. I don't care, dude.
That's probably why you can't hear him, dude.
Oh, really?
Okay. Oh, you can't hear him, Roll Gamer?
No, I can't hear him.
Yeah, because I think if you blocked him on Google Plus yourself, I think it's also another reason.
Oh, I got you. That's what it is.
So, video game lover, you would want a Slim or no?
I don't mind a Slim because I love the PS1 Slim. I love that model so much. But
yeah, that was a nice Slim model. Yeah,
it's a lot better than the original. I'm gonna be honest. A lot better.
What about you, Flo?
Okay, guess what I'm playing on right now? My PS3 Fat, and I fucking love it, man. I would not sell this thing for the world. I don't know what it is.
Bro.
It's just I have a certain. It's sentimental to me, man. It's like all my games that I play.
Capability too, right? That's they're still, are they still backwards capable? Or
No, not this one. But it's solid. It hasn't had any issues. It's been since whatever amount of years. It's still running like day one, so I love it.
Well, that was just a topic. Well, what I'm gonna give my 2 cents. I thought that was actually true. I didn't look too deeply into the article. I don't know. I don't like when they do all that. I think they should wait a while and then release different. I think it's a gimmick. I mean, I really do. I think it's just another way to get you to buy the console again, just like other things they do with games to get you to buy like new remasters. That if I already played that game, I'm not going to buy the remaster the majority of the time unless it's something I like. But buying the different colored consoles and all that, it's a gimmick to me. That's all it is. I don't know. That's just me. Other than that, there has been news of a new Resistance game coming. Is that bogus, or I guess it's a rumor? So that's, whatever. They got a rumor of that, and I think that was the only game that I heard that was anything new that was coming that we haven't heard of yet. Wait, did you hear about the Resistance coming, Grimpachi, or no?
Yeah, I heard about it, but matter of fact, I've never, other than like the Resistance on like PSP, I never played Resistance. I was gonna buy them yesterday, but they wanted $40 for those games. That's ridiculous.
Wow. And they shut the online down to one of them, right? Or
no, they shut any of them that have online. The online is down. So so I really have no ties to Resistance other than the fact that it's Insomniac and I like their game. So I'm pretty sure I like Resistance. But
Insomniac's making a new one.
They're not making a new one?
No, I think they have another company making the series now.
Oh, well then shit, yeah, I definitely don't know then, because if Insomniac's not making it, then I have nothing to go off of, because I didn't play the other ones. So if Insomniac was making, at least I could say, well, Insomniac makes good games, I might get it. But now it's like, I don't know. I don't know who's making it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know who's working on this new one. This is a rumor that Resistance is coming. It's just a rumor, so I don't know all the details with it. I just pretty much asking, would you be, looking forward to a new Resistance? But if you didn't play any of them, maybe not, maybe so.
Yeah, I just don't have an opinion. Like I'm not looking for it. I am looking for me. It's just a game coming out at this point.
Oh, okay. What do you think, Bear Hugger? What about, are you ever into the Resistance series, or no?
I played the franchise. I didn't care too much about the third one, but the first game was actually pretty cool. I had a lot of fun with that game. The second one was actually pretty good. I didn't really care how they incorporated the co-op for it. I was a little bit disappointed with that. Would I want to see the series come back? Well, yeah, absolutely. Why not? Will it come back? I don't know. I'm kind of on the same boat with Grimpachi on that one, honestly.
Okay. What about you, Legal Winning? Or did you ever play the Resistance series? Are you looking forward to a new one?
I played the first one and the second one, and I like the first one more, but there's some things that I like better about 2. Like, they did the graphics better in 2, and the first one, it was still in development when they were working on the PS3, so, I mean, if they had probably some more time for the first one, it could have looked better. It was weird, because, like, the first one, the complaint was that the main character didn't talk that much. But then you play the second one, and then a lot of people look back at it, and they kind of like the narration of the guy explaining the story. So, I mean, there's some good things about both of them. I like the first one better, but I think I do like 2. The multiplayer was always fun in those games. I wish I did play the third one, or maybe I'll pick it up. But I mean, if the series comes back, I mean, I wish it well, but I don't know about. Maybe it's better that Insomniac doesn't do it. I mean, look at Sunset Overdrive. Some people say that's not a good game. And the last game that Insomniac worked on, that multi-plat game that was for the PS3 and the Xbox 360, that was dog shit. And I think a lot of good people that were probably working at Insomniac, they probably left. So it's probably not the same company that it used to be.
what do you think, Real Gamer 27? Were you ever into Resistance? What do you think if they're making a new one? Look that, you know?
Well, not really. I played it before. I played the Vita version, and yes, I said the Vita. Yeah, I had the Vita, and it was very disappointing. But the game overall, I didn't have a problem with it. It was a cool game. But as far as me playing the whole entire series, no, I hadn't, because ain't that a Sony exclusive?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I hadn't played, because I never owned the PS3, so I really can't give you my 2 cents on that, to be honest. I had the Vita, but I never had the PS3. But, you know, is it interesting if they come out with another Resistance? Probably. I'll dabble a little bit on it. But as me knowing a little bit more about that, I don't really know much about it. But, you know, hey, I'm into games like that. That's just my little 2 cents.
Okay, what about you, video game lover? Are you looking forward to the new Resistance? Have you played any of them?
I haven't played the Resistance games. My older brother did. He really enjoyed the first two. He was disappointed with the third one. I wouldn't mind the series to come back.
Oh, okay. All right. What about you, Wolflow? Are you looking forward to new Resistance? If that is true, the rumor. I'm saying rumor now.
No, I'm not. I'm looking forward to new IPs, and here's the thing. You can call me a non-Sony fan because I haven't played it. I played the demo, but I just didn't get into it. To me, it's just, what does it really bring revolutionary that I can't see somewhere else? That, I don't know. I want to really get engaged in a story. I guess it does have some story aspects. And what you're saying about the second one sounds pretty interesting, the narration. So maybe I'll give it a chance. I don't know if I should or not, but honestly, I don't. What are they going to do with it? Like, I want to see something new. That's what I want. Sick of
Well,
this
hopefully it would do something new because it'd be on a new console. I mean, you never know, though. We've seen what they, you know, a lot of these games are releasing. We don't see nothing new with these new consoles much. So
That's just graphics and barely. It's not even that much of a difference, really.
Yeah. Me with Resistance, at the time when I played Resistance, I only played the first one. I was into Xbox more, and my buddy was into PlayStation. And I had Gears of War, he had Resistance. They both came out around the same time. And we would argue back and forth which game's better, just for the hell, you know, that's just, I know they're two different type of games, but we just like to do that. And he would say, oh, well, this is a lot better game. And I played it with him. We played, I think you could play co-op the whole game, because we played Gears of War the whole game co-op, and I liked it for the most part. I'd tell him it was dog shit at the time, but just to fuck with him. But it wasn't a bad game. Is it something groundbreaking from Sony? No. But it wasn't bad. I wouldn't mind playing a new one. It's something else to play, whatever. But that's my take on it. Most likely, I'd say the rumor could be true, but you never know. Other than that, I don't really got too much. I did get a chance actually to try out the Xbox One, and with this is my opinion when I say this, my opinion. I got to compare Call of Duty to Call of Duty on the from the PS4 to Xbox One, and how, like, I don't listen to a lot of YouTube on certain things when people say stuff, because you never know if they're cheering up this console just to talk good about that or this and that. You know how YouTube is. I honestly have to say there is a downgrade in graphics on the Xbox One. The best way for me to describe it, because I'm not a tech guy, it looks very bland. Like, that's the way I could put it. It looks like, because I was looking at the trees in Call of Duty, and you could look at the trees and they're kind of like plain. And is it something that could not make you enjoy the game? No. But if you were a graphics person, yeah, it would bother you. It would. Other than that, I experienced a really big problem on the Xbox One. I bought my brother Dying Light for his birthday, and we couldn't play it. It needed I don't know how to explain this. Like, it kept saying game started too long to loaded, game took too long to load, and then it would give us an error code, and it would go off. It would send us back. And then I did all these things. I researched on YouTube and on Google what was going on, and there was a lot of other people running into this problem where they couldn't get games to run on their Xbox One. They'd say, oh, do a hard reboot. Do a power cycle. This is where you unplug the Xbox One brick, the power brick, and that's what I always call them, power bricks. That's what they seem like. And you had to redo it. I was wanting to ask, Real Gamer, have you ever ran into any of them problems on your Xbox?
Honestly, I just being honest with you, bro. I haven't played the Xbox One in almost 2 months, dude. I've been I've been strictly on my Wii U, to be honest, and I probably the games I've been playing. If last time I played was Sunset Overdrive and Evil Within, but it's been catching a little dust lately, to be honest. And
did you ever have a problem running a game on it where it wouldn't load
no,
the game?
not really. Only thing I had a problem, like sometimes it takes a long time to install a game, but but otherwise, not really.
Because I'm gonna do a video on this. I'm gonna actually take video of me trying to play a game on it.
Here's what people don't realize. The system was designed initially to be always online. I knew this was going to be a problem down the road. And
Well, yeah. Well, that's another
what's happening with the Master Chief Collection. It's still not erasing, but it's deleting people's progress from their last save. It's going to happen. That's how they designed it.
When I researched this, like there was people that actually had problems where they're playing a game and it just goes to the startup menu.
No, there's so much propaganda and people sweeping shit under the rug. They talk about the PlayStation Network being down every week. That's bullshit, man. Show me it down. Show me it.
No, but I just want to ask Real Gamer or somebody in here that's seen Xbox One, because I've never seen this turned me off from the Xbox completely. Like, I don't want one at all now. I'm not being a fanboy of Sony or Nintendo. I don't want one. That totally turned me off. And then, when we were playing, my brother was like, well, he's like, I didn't see playing online. And then he hooked his Xbox Live up, and they still did it. And I asked him, I said, you need Xbox Live? I see even a single player? I don't hear nobody talking about it.
TV, come on.
So I was blown away by that, and I for a while when I hear people talking about graphics, I was like, I was like, from what you look on YouTube, you don't see a difference. But when you're actually there, and we both have decent TVs, we both have pretty good TVs, so I saw the downgrade that everybody's talking about, but that wouldn't even affect me, because I'll still play a game either way. But I'm saying with this whole shit, with you having to have live, and then even with you having live, it still has issues. Like, I could play another game, like, but I couldn't play live. So, and that's all probably because of this whole PRS.
Yo, who's with the background noise? I can't even hear Dave.
Real Gamer.
Was that me?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad, dog. That's me. I'm moving around. My bad.
Oh, but I just wanted to address that. I'm not like asking any specific topic. I wanted to get somebody, if somebody had an Xbox One, if they experienced that, because that blew me away. Like I wouldn't, if the console was meant to be online all the time, that's fine. Then I'm good. That's cool. But it's not meant. It's meant to work offline, and that's not the case.
Yeah, they shouldn't. It's really tough call. I mean, they had to do that, but it really fucked them around because that's not what their plan was, and they kind of should have stuck with their guns.
Yeah, it's stuff I don't see, like certain people. I'm not naming any names. All these people that cheer up the Xbox One, I never hear any of this mentioned.
I want an Xbox One, but
yeah, I wish you luck, Wolflow, when you get one.
I know. I have to weigh it out because, I mean, I want to see how many IPs actually go to the PC. And it's the same thing with Sony. A lot of them are going to the PC. They're shared. But I have to weigh it out.
I'm talking about how the game runs, Wolflaw. I'm not talking about the game. I want one, too, for the games. But if I'm going to have issues like that, I don't want the console. I can play my PS4 whenever I want, offline or on. But if Sony came out and said, hey, you got to play this console when you have PlayStation Plus, okay, that's what they told me. That's how it works. But Microsoft isn't saying, oh, well, you need Xbox Live, to play this console. That it was now they changed all that supposedly, right? That wasn't the case. Now, hopefully, I could be wrong. There might be something wrong with my brother's Xbox, but the reason I'm saying there might not be, his friend was there too. He says, oh, mine does the same thing.
Well, I'm not getting Xbox Live.
Like, that's what what I'm getting at. Like, I don't know. Like, I've looked at videos where people are claiming this. Then you got other people that say totally different thing. But I've experienced this in my own. You know, I ain't hear me looking at a video hearing this. Like, I actually experienced this shit.
I will tell you 100% honest truth. The only reason I have PlayStation Plus right now is because I signed up for it because I wanted the rental service. I actually liked the rental service of being able to try out different games, and lots of them. But
Talking about PlayStation now?
yeah, no. I'm talking about actually PlayStation Plus. It's basically a rental service. But
Okay.
I don't agree with it. I really don't think it should be mandatory. I hate that.
Yeah, I don't think it. That's one thing I was very upset with Sony, and I said that in a lot of videos. That's why I don't understand why somebody. And this is the last thing I want to close this podcast out with. Me, Bear Hugger, and Real Gamer, and I hate to bring up. I'm not bringing up Nintendo. I'm bringing up a comment. On Bear Hugger's video, his final message to Nintendo fans. There's a comment in his comment section, many of them, but one that really stood out. His name's Black Bullet. And he sent a message saying that, you know, I'm not a real Nintendo fan because Bear Hugger, what did he get at? I'm not a real Nintendo fan because of why?
He was using like big words that I've like hardly ever see people ever actually use. I don't know. He called you something. I forget what the hell it was.
Well, no, that's what I'm under. That's what I don't understand. These dudes are using huge words. Like, I'm not saying it's a huge word, right, really, but these people are using big words. Are they using big words to try to make themselves look intelligent? Or
that's what most people do.
Like, I don't get it. Like, he's using all these words that I haven't seen in a long time, and I'm like,
excuse me.
And he said, let me read a little bit of the comment, because he left a fucking novel. I used to do shit like that once in a blue moon, but I mean, this motherfucker left a book on your page.
He's trying to
I'm trying to find the comment right now.
Yeah, I'm not
intimidate
a
you.
Nintendo fan. If you can find it before me, read just the beginning of it. That really got me what he said. I thought it was kind of funny, like just because my opinion about the whole topic of things. And he literally told you that you weren't. What did he say? That you shouldn't have me or the Real Gamer. Maybe it was just me. I don't know. You know, in your podcast because you're a Nintendo-orientated channel and blah 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 blah.
I took a screenshot of it, man. I'm horrible at reading out loud, so.
Okay.
So I think I got your screenshot.
Okay, it's on there. Okay, you found it. Cool. Yeah, this comment just was like, I want to address this in a video, but he says, I'm still subscribed to your channel, but even though I could have told you that Dave's Had Enough was not a true Nintendo fan, he told his audience time and time again he favored Sony over Nintendo, so you cannot take his word for anything when it comes to trying to make Nintendo better. All he has done in your podcast is criticize Nintendo in the harshest ways and belittle the company while praising Sony each and every time he got.
Oh my gosh, really?
Your channel is a Nintendo-orientated channel first and foremost, and if you think your Nintendo fan base wants to hear someone constantly doing stuff like that, then you're wrong. You know, and he goes on and on and on and on, like just going on about this shit. And it really, I'm not a true Nintendo fan because I speak my mind. Like, can anybody in this comment, I mean in this Google Hangouts vouch for me that I have said many bad things about Sony in my videos?
You say bad things about everybody.
I don't watch any of your videos on your channel because you have critiqued Sony on numerous occasions.
Yeah, I got hell for talking about PlayStation with being down on Christmas recently. That was one of the recent ones.
Yep.
Honestly, Dave, I think...
You know, but I can go back and show videos where I just blasted Sony. And it's funny when just because I wasn't going on about Nintendo for a while, I guess everybody thought I was just a cheerleader for fucking Nintendo.
I liked it. That's why I love Dave. Dave calls out everybody. Even in the comment sections. I love it.
I could see if I was honestly talking down Nintendo all the time and not doing it to Sony at all or nothing, that'd be a different story. But I don't do that. That's one thing I always promote on my channel. I'm not going to sit here and talk great about this one and not point out anything bad.
Oh, that's the word that he used. He called you an insurgent.
Well, I never heard that one in a long
What the
time.
fuck is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, well, I'm an insurgent, and I asked my brother's wife. She's a school teacher. What that meant, and I can't remember what she said because I was when I read the comment. She was on the
Called
phone.
you an insurgent?
The military.
Yeah, called him an
Insurgent? That's like, aren't you like a threat to the military or something like that? If you're or something like that.
I've heard
Beats
that
me.
comment used before, not on YouTube or anything. But I've heard that word meant towards somebody, but that's like I never knew what it meant. Like I never knew what it.
Honestly, that dude wrote that just to be right.
Yeah, he just goes,
like,
he's playing like an insurgent trying to infiltrate our fan base, quote unquote. That's
like
right.
I made a video recently talking about like I've come to the understanding in my first month of being on YouTube. Look, you can sit here and like I used to do it too. Sit here and wonder like, why is this person saying this? They're stupid. They don't watch my content. They don't know. Like, look, at the end of the day, I just realized, hey, people gonna say what they want to say.
Yeah.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah.
And I do one of two things. I ignore them, or I just go in the comment section and destroy them. It's one of two. If I feel like playing with you, and I'll play with you. If I feel like ignoring you, then I'll ignore you. But the whole wondering why, it's almost like, why does the Joker do what he do? Like, he's insane. Like, just just chuck it up to that. Like, these people, they do and say what they say because they're crazy. Let's just say that.
Hey, let me throw my little 2 cents in, man. Like, I know Dave, he's like one of the first ones that brought that video out about how you felt about Nintendo. Yeah, I know I came right behind you. Then we got a lot of flack for that. Then then that's when Burr Hugger, Alex after seeing, then the video gamer her. I believe that's the name. The video gamer her. She just she just recently made a video today, and you see her comment section. Oh my God, them Nintendo fanboys is, oh my God, like
Yeah, I lost a lot of subs over those two.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like basically, every time I rant about Microsoft, Sony, I probably get maybe a few of those fanboys come on my channel, want to defend their system, whatever their company. But the first time talking about Nintendo, oh my God, I lost a lot of subs just like you, Burr Hugger. I'm about to lose more subs tonight because I got a video that's ready. To be honest, it's funny. But
I didn't lose no subs. Like I think they expect this from me because I mean the guy did say in his comment, he goes, Dave said time and time again he's a Sony fan, but I never said I was more of a. Well, I did say I was more of a Sony fan, but I never. How he put in his comment, how I talk up Sony, I never talk Sony up over Nintendo, like making it look like I'm a big.
Sound like you're a big Sony fanboy, yeah.
basically,
maybe I said it wrong, but I never came out and said, oh, I just bashed Sony or bashed Nintendo and cheer up Sony. No, I point out many things I don't like about Sony, and I actually have not. I think what's really got that video going when I came out with the Wii U and the waiting game, I haven't really got on Nintendo in a long time, and it's funny how they really overlook all the stuff you've done before and act like you've never done nothing bad just because, said a bad opinion about something because you're going on about Nintendo all the time. The reason I did that video is because I was very upset with Nintendo and still am with their releases. I had a reason why I did that. I just didn't do that. And another thing I want to point out, I love how YouTube, like a lot of these people on YouTube, automatically think you're trolling. Because I had some people ask me, like, are you trolling with this shit, Dave? Whenever you have a bad opinion towards another company that people may love or whatever, automatically you're trolling.
Yeah.
I got a question though, Dave. Why do you do it sometimes in the negative when you have like the negative image? What do you call it? Where your shit's like black and white on your video?
Oh yeah.
This is why I do that. Okay. And somebody asked me to stop doing that, and I will, but there's a problem. If I'm now with my laptop, I can do the YouTube, the podcast, and there's light. But when I use my tablet, it don't get much light, so I do those images just to help the lighting, really.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like
I got you.
That makes sense.
That's why I do that. I don't do that because I want to, but I guess I'll try doing it with my phone now with my videos, and that might help. It might be a better camera system. I mean, I think it'll be the same lighting. Maybe I'll open the window. I don't know, or put a light in here. It just like. One guy's like, oh, why don't you do gameplay videos like everybody else? That takes a fucking while to do all that shit. Like, I can get out more videos just me on front of the camera than I can fucking with the Share Factory. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I got you.
Yes, that's why I do that. I don't do that as a choice. I do it just because.
Like I said, here's the
Hopefully, all
thing.
this that's been going on lately. Hopefully, we'll get a lot more YouTubers that's doing the same thing. What we all doing, you, me, Bud Herger, the video game, her, and all that. Hopefully, we get a lot more people to voice their opinion, so maybe Nintendo can actually hear us out and everything. But it seems like those fanboys is trying to channel us out. They not liking what we're saying. We actually are speaking up, and they're not liking it. They not.
They don't want to hear negativity about a console that they like.
No, they don't.
That's the thing.
Is what I do. Like, a lot of people say, like, I troll and blah blah blah. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. I find it hilarious because look, people like RXL, like, he'll let you know, like, I'm trolling, I'm not trolling, blah blah.
Yeah, he
blah.
does. Yeah.
But see, the thing with me is, I don't troll, but you think I'm trolling. I find that hilarious because I can troll. And it's gonna probably blow your mind. It's probably gonna hurt your head. You know, it's not gonna, I'm not trying because I'm just voicing my opinion or saying something I honestly believe. I'm not just making some shit up to be an asshole. I'm just saying what I think is true. And you don't like it, so I'm a troll. Look, everybody thinks you're a troll when they don't agree with you. That's just basic.
Yep.
You're not a troll. You're a troll. Oh, I don't agree with you. You're trolling.
It's exactly like my fake.
Oh yeah, Bud Herger.
Hold on, dude. Video Game Lover was trying to say something.
Yeah, he trying to talk.
Oh, go ahead.
It's kind of like my fake persona that I made, and a lot of people were taking my whole Bad News Lover 58 thing so seriously. Hey, guys, it's a goddamn bad persona I made.
Yeah, man. People don't understand that, man.
Well, one other thing I want to get at, and I've mentioned this to you before, Bear Hugger. You have a friend. I mentioned this in the podcast, and you actually told me it was one of your friends or subscribers, Deku.
Yeah, Deku, yeah.
Okay, Deku. Okay.
He's got a pretty big. He does take that a little bit serious. But I explained to him.
This is the problem I have with him. It's not his comments or anything. I can't comment back to him.
Because he has this thing on private, yeah.
Okay, so why is he gonna come out with these outrageous comments and I can't even comment back to him?
Well, you can tag them in your own post. That's what I do to work around that problem. I mean, I hate that aspect when they have their accounts locked down, so you cannot reply to anything they say. Normally, when I see that on my channel, if I want to reply back to somebody, I'll just do the whole, plus in their name, whatever you want to call it, and tag them in that post. So that way, they are guaranteed to see it. I know it's fucking annoying, man. I told him that too as well. He's got to change that.
Yeah.
And he said, he will.
Like this. He goes. I like how you conveniently left out the fact that Nintendo has been the only profitable company every gen with the highest rated selling games every gen, the highest attach rate every gen, the biggest sustainable growth every gen, biggest publisher, developer every gen. Funny, but none of this matters, right? Because the Wii U isn't selling well, huh?
I talked to him a lot throughout the day and whatnot, and I explained to him exactly like the point that you were getting across, and the fact that even like directly after he made those posts, because I saw that when he messaged me on Skype about that, and I explained to him the point that you were making across. He's like, oh. And I was like, yeah.
I don't see how he's going on about all this other stuff like selling and all this. I'm talking about in the video how Nintendo is declining.
Their install base or their fan base shrinks every generation.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at, not their game sales. And if you really look at it, Mario, the 3D Mario game, is the lowest selling one. So out of all the other ones.
The main reason why the website there, Polygon, came out and made that prediction about Mario Kart 8, because after they saw the sales of 3D World being like the lowest selling Mario game in, I think, of all time, I think it was, then they came out and they made that prediction that Mario Kart 8 was going to have the same exact aspect, where it was just going to decline like Mario Kart, not the Wii one, because the Wii one was a huge one, but it was going to be the less popular selling one, which turned out to not be true at all, period. But I know it's a real shame that a lot of people missed out on 3D World, but I think a lot of the people that, when they looked at it, and plus, I mean, this is just me, my opinion on this, but I think the reason why a lot of people missed out on or ignored 3D World is because a lot of people looked at it and thought it was just nothing more than a port of 3D Land, I think, is what they looked at it from. They just changed the title of it, and they're like, whatever, I don't care, I already played 3D Land, there's no point in me getting the Wii U version. They just looked at it nothing more like an HD port of it, I guess. Which I can somewhat understand that, but sadly that's not the case. It's more of an extension of the game. But I don't know. It's a real shame, but I have a funny thing. Galaxy 3? Then it'll be a different story. I think that game would have definitely flew off the shelves pretty. Probably definitely sold them with
your buddy said that he says, how is it our fault? I blame them to the degree, but maybe I was just burst in their fucking bubble. I just wanted to get at them too.
Yeah, I mean, 3D World is still selling now. It's because the install base is getting bigger. But at the time when it came out, like right after the end of its first year, the install base. What the hell was the install base at the end of the first year? Wasn't it like a little over 5 mil? I think it was, or 4 or something like that. I can't remember what it was. The install base was pretty goddamn low. So I mean, I expected to sell the way it did from the get go. But now it's like what, like almost close to 3 now.
Hey, let me say something, Lee, because I gotta get out, because I got a dead. Huh?
I'll let you say, but it's coming to an end. I'm about to shut the podcast down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm done.
What were you saying?
No, I was about to say, Bert Hugger, like the other day with that debacle on your comment section. Of course, you saw what happened, and of course, PE Nintendo, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I wasn't trying to start no drama. I was just basically tell him how I felt, and he kept coming back to me. I told him I don't want no drama. I said I don't want to argue no more. And he kept coming back. So I wasn't trying. I wasn't trying to.
Just when stuff like that happens, man, I just ignore it myself and I just carry.
Yeah. So he kept going, and I'm just letting you know right now. I was not trying to start no drama. That's why I cut it out.
I have no.
All right, dude. All right. That's all I want to tell you.
Before we end this, I just want to say this. Like a lot of people say, they don't want they want a drama-free channel, right? I don't think. How is that possible when life isn't drama-free?
Yeah, I know, right?
That's true. That's true.
Like, there are ways to avoid it, but it's always there.
I made a rule for my channel because I used to go at like truth be told and stuff like that because he used to come at me. I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna go at nobody. But drama free, it's not gonna be drama free.
Nope.
That's impossible.
Oh hell no! Because
like when I made that video right from the start, or right before the new year kicked in, which is the simple fact that I myself was not going to get involved with, like, you know what I mean, like arguments or those drama kind of debates. And I haven't been replying back.
He's talking about videos.
Oh no, I'm talking about video wise. Yeah, that's something.
Video response.
Yeah, video response wise. I mean, all the video responses that I've done so far, I mean, have been honest and polite. I know some people out there when they do response videos, like "fuck you, your opinion sucks." You know what I mean?
And that's
that would be me. That would be me.
That's the problem with YouTube. There's so many things they're talking about, and nobody's talking about games anymore. I hate that.
No, they don't.
Sadly, yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, but they're not interested in gaming, Wolflow. This is more of an this community is more of an opinion about stuff. That's all they want to talk about, what's going on, and that's it. Like they just want to get their opinion. I don't think a lot of these people like I don't even see them on the fucking Wii U. I don't. And I'm not a lot of these people that I see like oh, I love the Wii U, but they haven't been on that bitch in a month. Over a month. That's why I don't care. Like, I don't understand it. But it was a great podcast. Thank you as always. Bear Hugger 29 is joining.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it. Definitely, if you haven't bought Metroid Prime Trilogy, I highly recommend you guys do.
Got it.
Oh,
amazing trilogy, man.
No problem.
Thank you, League of Winning, as always.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you, King Grimbachi, as always.
No problem.
Thank you, Real Gamer 27, as always.
I sure appreciate you, Jay, for letting me join my your podcast. Y'all check my video out later. I'm gonna upload it now.
Oh, for sure. Thank you, Video Game Lover, as always.
Oh man.
Thank you, Wolflow, as always.
You're welcome, Dave. Keep doing what you do, man.
All right, and until next time.